with 100.
Budweiser Zero. Zero alcohol. Zero compromise.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Cadillac and save over $4,000 off and 0.9% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality, direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with 0 interest, up to 48 months, and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress. Locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on. If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, good Friday to you. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250. We're on 930. We are live online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch the show on Facebook Live or on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube so you can watch this program, The Brian Bailey Show, all of our ECU post-game Zooms in baseball, our ECU post-practice interviews for Pirate football, which we'll have some of that coming up on a Saturday on our social media sites, so stay tuned for that. We'll talk some Pirate football later on in today's program. Also, a new episode of Pirate Radio Trivia has dropped, episode 2, with Steve Ullman and Cameron Yarborough, a couple of Pirate Radio listeners going head-to-head in a tight trivia battle. You can check that out right now on our social media sites and on YouTube as well. By the way, just recorded episode 3 of Pirate Radio Trivia, a showdown between Redbeard and John Moody that went down to the wire. You're going to want to see that one when that drops, so stay tuned for that. It should be coming out soon on Pirate Radio. All right, coming up on today's program, we got Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com, joining us in the Pirate Radio studios in just a little bit. Hey, we got NFL win totals for 2021. We'll dive through some of those. As you may imagine, the Chiefs total sitting really high at 12. Buccaneers at 11.5. What about the Panthers? If you want to bet on their over-under wins in 2021, we'll talk about that with resident Panthers fans Chandler, Honeycutt, and Tony Dunn. Coming up at 4 o'clock, Brian North joins us. Shirley and I still have egg on our face from what transpired yesterday, where we were fooled into thinking Brian North had a new business venture. We'll talk about that. And what's going on in the world of sports with North. Got some high school football playoffs coming up tonight that we will talk about. Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show joins us around 4:30. We'll get you up to date on Harold Varner III as he is on the course at the RBC Heritage and had a great Thursday. We'll let you know what's going on for his second round on this Friday as HV3 in a pretty good spot right now, tied for 7th. He is 7 under par, 5 shots back of the leader. Stuart Sink will keep up to date. He is through 10, by the way, so still on the course. We'll keep up to date with what's going on with HV3 on today's show. Morgan Ahlers, voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium at Minges Coliseum, joins us at 5 o'clock. We'll talk some Pirate football with Morgan as the Pirates get ready for a scrimmage on Saturday. All right, that was a mouthful. Let's welcome in Shirley Rhodes and Chandler Honeycutt on the program. Shirley, I know you're a little bit under the weather today. You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'll live.
All right, good. You will survive.
I will survive.
Much like
Shirley Rhodes will survive.
What in the actual hell was that?
We've got a great dichotomy. What's the word I'm looking for? We got Chandler, who's on a 10 today, and Shirley, who's on a 1. Hopefully you can balance each other out.
Try to meet in the middle, Cheryl.
Chandler is really going to annoy Shirley today.
Yeah.
Because Chandler's he's like high energy. You're having a good day today.
It's Friday, baby. It's Free Beer Friday. Let's go.
You are smiling. It is Free Beer Friday.
Usually I am
Shirley's
right
faking
up
a
there.
smile right
I
now.
got you treats yesterday.
Oh, those were good. That might have been what affected Shirley.
That may have been my downfall.
She's still in a coma.
I did try the cookies and cream sandwich.
Milk and cookies.
Oh, boy.
It was good.
That was good.
It was really good.
Oh, man.
It was good.
It was good to me.
So, all right, Chandler and Shirley are here. I tell you what, let's go out to get the "This is stupid" ready.
This is stupid.
Because I don't know another way to put what's happening right now in Houston. ECU went all the way out to Houston to play a 4-game series. We knew earlier this week that Houston was having some COVID issues, but the all clear was given. We're ready to go. We're ready for baseball. ECU gets to Houston and then finds out they can't play a series due to COVID concerns within the Houston program. This is absolutely stupid.
This is stupid!
And we'll start the show out live in Houston as Corey Gloor is on the scene, ready to call some baseball, but no games to be called. And Corey, how are you hanging in there, man? This is a weird situation going on right now.
Yeah, a very strange situation, a pretty unfortunate and at times infuriating situation, I would say, that developed here over the last 24 hours. But kind of nature of the beast with this season, and unfortunately it crept in pretty late here for this week. Otherwise, we would be talking about games right now. Instead, we're talking about a quick change of plan.
Infuriating is a good word because, it would be, I guess, unfortunate if the Pirates went out there to Houston and had no kind of early word on there were issues with the Cougars regarding COVID. But we knew about this earlier in the week. In fact, it almost felt like on, Tuesday, maybe early Wednesday, that it almost felt more like ECU was going to possibly schedule a different opponent and Houston was not going to be able to play. Well, Houston gave it the all clear. ECU makes the trip on Thursday. And then I guess sometime, when did you find out, Corey, after you had arrived, I guess, in Houston, that there would be no baseball this weekend?
It was well after we got here yesterday. In fact, the team was here at the park. I'm at the park right now. They're doing a scrimmage right now, an intra-squad scrimmage, and they were here last night practicing. It was probably about 8 o'clock local time when initial word started coming out in this area that maybe things were in doubt now for the weekend. And then about an hour after that is when it became official that, there was some talk behind the scenes about trying to find a way to play one game here this weekend, but when push came to shove, everyone that came to the table decided on no games this weekend. So the team was already well here and already practicing for the weekend when they got the word.
So there is an actual scrimmage going on. We saw Cliff Godwin tweet earlier today. Not a bad pitching matchup on the mound. Williams versus Wisenhunt, purple gold game in Houston. Let's go. Cliff Godwin trying to make a positive out of this. And Corey, have you talked to Coach? I can't imagine how upset he was when he found out this, but it sounds like they're trying to make the proverbial lemonade out of lemons here today.
Yeah, I mean, as you would imagine, nobody here is happy with what just happened here. I think that the key thing is when it all came down, that really has been pretty annoyed with the situation. And I mean, today they came to the park with the plan of, all right, we're not playing who we're here to play, but we're gonna go out there, we're gonna get our work in, we're gonna do a good job at it before we come back to Greenville. So, I mean, last night emotions are pretty raw. Today, after a night's sleep, that they still by no means have calmed down about what has gone on here, but they're ready to essentially get back to work and kind of put things back into place here before they fly home.
So, Corey, when are you and when is the team heading back to Greenville?
Yeah, everyone is coming back tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So they're able to move everything up. So they'll be back in Greenville probably tomorrow evening at some point. And then I believe the plan is they'll try and get a little bit of scrimmage work in again on Sunday back in Greenville. And then they will start the prep work for UCF coming up next weekend.
Yep, that's what's next on the docket. Corey, and there are some, well, I don't know if it's a question or a statement. Are there positives by not playing this series? I mean, should ECU kind of stay status quo where they are in the rankings and the RPI? Will this hurt ECU? What do you think when it comes down to ECU's overall standing in college baseball, them not playing this weekend?
There is not one single positive thing that has come out of this or will come out of this.
Okay.
I saw a little bit of that kind of floating around there yesterday as well. Maybe it's good to get them rest, that sort of thing. Well, in a normal season, yes, with midweek games, but this team was a week rested after their last hit the field, so that's not an issue. And now they're trained to kind of handle the 4 games, 3 days mantra. It will hurt their standing in terms of ranking. Their RPI is going to fluctuate without them doing anything, whether it goes up or down this weekend. And the standings now in the conference will shift around them and maybe even above them. No, there's no positive to take out of this. This is not a good situation that played out here in Houston, and it's the second week in a row something like this has occurred here involving the American. It was Tulane and USF last weekend, and a very similar thing just played out here. It's not good, and you do not want to go 2 weeks off from playing a baseball game. This is not the rhythms of this type of season. It's not football in that regard. So, no, I mean, they will try and make the best of this. They are here today before they head back into town tomorrow. But when push comes to shove, they were here to play games. They were here to play Houston, and late last night they were told that they can't.
Corey Gloor joining us. Corey, thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time, man. No, it's not the weekend you had planned for sure, but hopefully you'll get back here to Greenville, get ready to call some games coming up against UCF next weekend. So, Corey, thank you, and I don't know, what are you doing tonight in Houston? You got any plans?
Well, there's a team dinner is going to be put together here later on tonight. And I think it's going to be an early bedtime for this old man here. He's going to have a very early flight coming tomorrow morning. So no, the team's going to go out to dinner here, which has been a rare circumstance this season. They haven't had many opportunities to do it. And then everyone will pile onto a couple planes tomorrow and head back to Greenville.
Sounds good, Corey. We'll talk to you again soon, man. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Cliff.
Corey Gloor joining us on the Fixed NC Live line live in Houston, where no baseball is being played. This is stupid. What's going on right now with the Pirates?
This is stupid.
Again, it would have been frustrating if they'd have gone and not been able to play and it popped up, but the issues were known earlier in the week, and then to have them go all the way out there and not play is stupid.
Stupid.
This is stupid.
Well, I think it's an embarrassment for obviously the University of Houston, but the American Athletic Conference as a whole, because the American could have stepped in and said, look, if you guys even remotely think that this is going to be an issue, let's go ahead, err on the side of caution and postpone so that we don't have a team, that's in the top 25 waste a trip. I mean, who's going to recoup the finances for that?
Exactly.
Because who's going to be on the hook for that? Because personally, if I was John Gilbert, I'd be on the phone with the University of Houston, trying to figure out who is going to reimburse the university for the amount of money they spent to fly the team out there.
And ECU had already been in talks, and we're talking to Creighton about playing a series.
And they could have potentially gone there instead and got a series in. And, and that's where the American could have stepped in and said, you know what, you guys are kind of on shaky ground right now.
Yeah.
And what really irritates me about this whole thing is that this is not a surprise for anybody that is associated with the University of Houston, because for the last year, if you look back to their football program, to their basketball program, they've had COVID issues consistently throughout the year. And this is not new. So obviously whatever protocols that they're following are not working. So even if there was a hint of a potential contact tracing issue, they should have postponed that series before ECU ever set foot on a plane.
I agree.
And Texas as a whole, as the whole state, is fully operational.
Right.
That could continue to be a problem for the university, maybe not just Houston, but other universities in Texas.
Well, and the ECU softball team is in Houston right now. They played earlier today. Unfortunately, they lost 6-4, but the softball team is there, and then they've got to come back because they have a home series next weekend. What if that affects them? I mean, there's a potential ramifications all through this, not just with baseball, but with ECU softball as well.
Let's welcome in our in-studio guest. Tony Dunn is here. Hello, Tony.
I can't stand.
Tony.
Hello, Tony.
I can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm going to set it straight. This Watergate. This is sabotage.
I can't stand rocking when I'm in here.
That's what this is, Houston.
My crystal ball was not so crystal clear, Tony.
Sabotage.
Tony comes in spitting.
Tony, how are you doing, man?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome, Tony.
Chandler.
Thanks for asking.
You all right?
I'm good.
I'm like Chandler. I'm with Chandler today.
You're on an 11 as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I miss Chandler. I hadn't seen him in a couple of weeks.
I saw you last Thursday.
We literally
in the studio.
I saw you Wednesday.
I know. We were just hanging out together. Okay. All right. Fine. Tell you what, Tony.
Take a break. Let's take a break.
I did tell Tony on Wednesday
night. You came in too hot.
That I was excited to be back in the studio with him finally.
Excitement time. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We got NFL win totals 2021 to discuss. I'll tell you what else.
Can we play Guess the Line for that?
Ooh.
Guess the win total? Yeah. Absolutely.
That would be fun.
Have you cheated yet?
I have not looked.
You looked over there. You don't have to look over there the whole time. We'll do a Guess the win total with Chandler and Tony. You know what else is stupid? Stupid. The NFL going to 17 stupid games. Stupid. Making. Stupid. Now we have to read these win totals different.
Oh.
I had the same thought about that when So, like, when you see a team is 8, you're like, can they go 8-8? Well, not anymore.
That's a subpar record.
Can they go 9-8 or 8-9? Like, it's stupid. Maybe that's the theme of today's show. Everything is stupid.
I'm one of these people. You have to get to 9 wins to have a winning record, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I'm one of these people that when you
Which was the same as before, to be honest. But.
Whether it's on radio or like volume on your TV, it has to be on like an even number or like 5 or 0, and it being like
you know what that is?
That's
stupid.
It's just I can't imagine a team being 8-9. Like that's just cringy.
I hate it. I hate it.
That's just like having a tie in your record. Like,
well, this is Old Man Complain About Stuff Radio today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll make you a winner. We got Free Beer Friday coming up. Tony Dunn likes the Michelob Ultra seltzer, so he is a fan of it. It is Tony Dunn approved, and we will be giving that away in hour 3. More to go when we return after this. Weekends are made for AJ McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at AJ's. AJ's is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on AJ's TVs. See you this weekend at AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
In studio with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys are expanding and growing.
Yeah, we sure are. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that we actually have a pediatric practice as well. It's called Kinetic Pediatric Therapy. We've got speech, physical, and occupational therapy there just for kids. If you're concerned about your child's development or just want to make sure they're on track, you can bring them in for a screen. If they need evaluation, we're able to do that and help them continue to develop. For more information, you can visit us at kptkids.com or give us a call, 689-6043.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
In studio today with Punch-Out, also known as Todd Belk to his friends and family. Why F3?
I come to F3 because it's pretty much the best way to start your day. Getting with a group of guys that are working out, it's free. We really push each other, and it's a fellowship. We check on each other. We stay pretty active in the social networks, and it's just a good group. It ties you into the community. It's been a good experience so far.
One letter, one number, F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith. All workouts are free of charge and open to all men. Leave no man behind, but leave no man where you find him. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors, and parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember to focus on moving through the park. Keep social distancing in mind and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, my Braves and Tony's Cubs are tied at 1 apiece, heading to the bottom of the third inning. Keep you up to date on some Major League Baseball and some golf, as Harold Varner III is on the course. He is 7 under par. He is tied for 8th. 6 shots back now of the leader, Stuart Sink, at the RBC Heritage. We'll talk about that with Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show next hour. All right, we got some NFL win totals.
We got some breaking news, too. Breaking news. What's the
breaking news?
Sheldon Richardson released by the Browns.
Okay.
Defensive tackle. Jadeveon Clowney signed for a, $10 million deal? That money looks like to be replacing Sheldon Richardson. Was due $12 million this year, and he's a solid player. All of a sudden, and it's just interesting for me right away because the Panthers are a little thin at defensive tackle. Put a guy like him beside Derek Brown, maybe. I think Sheldon Richardson's more of a 3 technique. I got to go look at look his stuff up a little bit. But hey, there's a new player on the market, folks.
All right, good stuff, Tony Dunn. Let's before we look at the 2021 win totals, let's look back at the 2020 win totals and see what stands out. One of them is honestly my team, the Washington football team. Their win total in 2020 was 4.5. If you went over, you got that pretty easy as they ended up winning 7 games. One I just noticed, and did the Jaguars win? They won week 1, right? And then they lost 15 straight games.
Yeah,
they won week 1 against the Colts and then lost out. Their win total was 2. So hopefully you took the under.
It's so funny how they pick the order, because didn't the Jets only win 1 game too? As well,
Jets might have won.
Did they win
2?
Jets they were 2 and 14. Okay,
their win total last year was 1.5. So hopefully you took the over. Panthers came in under, Tony. Their win total in 2020 was 6.5. Ended up winning 5?
5.
Yeah. So they went under.
Should have only won 4.
The Chiefs
would have been drafting 3.
Should have lost to Washington.
Yeah.
The Chiefs were 12.5. They ended up losing 2 regular season games, 14-2.
They covered.
So they
I bet you the Bills covered at 13-3. They were probably 12.
The Bills were 10.
10. Yeah. Okay.
So they covered
comfortable
easily.
Dolphins covered for sure.
Miami was 8.
What about the Titans?
How many did they win?
10.
Miami won 10. Yep.
And the Steelers went 12-4. The team that looked terrible every week somehow had a winning record. Who was the other team we were like this?
The Steelers actually were.
They were 12-4
under, because it was 13.5.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is really crazy.
I mean, that means that how did the Chiefs have lower predicted wins than the dang Steelers?
I don't know if it was division or schedule related or what. Who did you say? The Titans?
Yeah.
Their win total was 9.5, and they ended up winning 11 games.
The Colts certainly covered at 11 wins last year, I bet.
The Colts with Phillip Rivers.
And the Browns, too, at 11, and the Ravens at 11. I bet you the Ravens were under, my guess.
Colts were 9.5. Ravens were 11.5.
Yep, so they were under. They didn't cover, so we have 1. And the Browns.
Cleveland was 9.5.
Yep.
So that came over.
Interesting.
So just looking back at some of these total numbers, what was the Cowboys? Theirs is always inflated. Dallas, maybe not. 4.5. How is that right?
Was that last year's?
Yeah.
They were bad. They were considered to be bad. I wonder. They got no respect.
No respect at all.
Seahawks covered, I bet.
6. Seahawks, how many did they win?
12.
Yeah, the Seattle's total was 12. Right on the nose.
Push. What about Packers?
Packers 9.
Oh, they covered by a large margin at 13.
So just something to keep an eye on as you head into this year's win totals. And Chandler and Tony, you guys have not looked this up yet.
Nope.
So we'll do a little guess that number, and we'll start with your Carolina Panthers. Now, remember, this is stupid, but we have to add another game because there is a 17-game schedule now for the NFL. So where do you think the Sam Darnold Carolina Panthers win total sits in 2021?
8.5.
I was going to say 7.5.
Chandler hits it on the nose at
nice.
7.5. Can the Panthers go 8-9, guys?
I believe so. I think the defense was just is going to be improved this year,
which is a big number than what Tony had last year.
Yeah,
on your projections.
4.
Yeah,
I was closer. I knew I was a better predictor than they
Vegas.
were.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. But no, I think the defense improved. I think you're going to have a little bit better training camps that are going to help this team. You got a second-year offensive coordinator. I think the coaching staff taking a year or two leap is going to be a big deal. So the Panthers have had a very nice offseason as well, and as long as Sam Darnold isn't just horrible, I think the Panthers can get right around that 7 number and then cover, I would say.
Chandler?
Yeah, I mean, we have the quarterback that can at least throw the ball down the field now. He gets, weapons in DJ Moore. He reunites with Robbie Anderson. So hopefully we get a healthy Christian McCaffrey back this year that he can also utilize. It's like Tony said, the defense is improving. A lot of young guys on the defense that are continuing to develop. So Brian Burns is going to wreak havoc on one end of the line. So, Hassan Reddick is a big pickup, I think, in the offseason as well. This is a prove-it year for him. So, the Panthers, I think, at 7.5, I think they can cover.
So, only a 3-game difference from this year, and you get an extra shot at it, too.
Correct. So, you guys are going over on the Panthers.
I am.
All right. The Bucks have the same team as they did last year when they went 11-5. They hadn't lost the game in a long time. One to close out the regular season, 1 in the playoffs. So where do you put them with a 17-game schedule?
11.5.
I would put 12.
Chandler hits it on the nose.
Oh, man.
At 11.5.
I swear that I'm not looking this up.
They can go 12-5, right?
Yeah.
I think it would be disappointing if they did. I mean, 11-5, or what is that? They were 11-5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was slightly disappointing in a way for the team that they had. It was that slow start that kind of undermined them. And
let's see, they lost to the Saints, they lost to the Bears, Rams, Chiefs, and where was their other loss? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, maybe I said them all. Saints, Bears, Saints again, 38-3. Okay, I remember that one. Rams, Chiefs, those were their losses. So pretty respectable. Maybe outside of the Bears, that was a weird Thursday night game.
Yeah, and then that awesome game against the Chargers where they just slung it. Justin Herbert was just
38-31.
Yeah, that was a fun game, but they pulled that out at the last minute too. So there were times early in the season that it hadn't all come together yet for the Bucks, but that's the good time to be off rhythm. And to get on rhythm later in the season is a big advantage.
Saints and Falcons a bit tricky, right? Because the Saints have life without Drew Brees, Jameis Winston. The Falcons still have some good players, right?
Yeah, I mean, they always have some good players.
I know.
It's their offense is always well put together.
So where do you guys put them? Let's start with the Saints.
I'm going to say that Vegas has them at 9.
Okay.
6.5.
Ooh, going low. 9.5.
Okay, nice. I finally got
Chandler,
one.
So right now, you probably want to take the under on the Saints if you believe yourself more than Vegas, because that is a huge difference.
I'm just ready for them to fail.
This could be the year. How about the Falcons? Where do you got them?
Picking at 4.
What are they going to do?
What they do last year, they were
awful.
4 wins, maybe?
I'm going to put them at 6.
Okay.
I'll 5.
7.
7.
That is the lowest number in the South. It goes in order: Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons. Fair?
Yeah.
Pretty fair.
Yeah.
What were the Bucks?
11.5. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the South. Here's a tricky one. The NFC West is pretty loaded, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you think of the 49ers, who have gone from like bad to awesome, bad to Super Bowl, to bad to question mark.
Wow.
Good again. So you got Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals. All these numbers are pretty high. Who do you think has the highest win total in that division?
The Cardinals.
They have the lowest.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Man.
I'm going to go Seahawks.
So the Rams have the highest. The 49ers and Seahawks tied for second.
I forgot. They got Stafford, of course.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
What number do you think they put the Rams at?
11.
10.5. You're close. Sorry, I didn't let you guess.
That's fine.
I'll go ahead and tell you the Niners and Seahawks are 10, Cardinals are 8. So they got everybody in that division finishing 500 or better, pretty much, outside of the Cardinals, who's right there.
That's a big gamble for the 49ers. It's a 4-game difference from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just all counting on them drafting this quarterback and him working.
Or is Jimmy G still on the roster?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they might start week 1 with him.
I mean, is the signs pointing to them drafting Mac Jones? Is that going to happen?
Great
Interesting
question.
you bring that up, Chandler, because before today, yes, but for whatever reason, I don't know, was it a pro day, maybe, Tony?
There was the second one.
The betting odds now say that Justin Fields will be the third player taken in the draft.
Well, let me just
49ers.
let it be clear that the Panthers personnel was out there for his second pro day.
They're hoping he's going to fall. I think the Mac Jones stuff all was partial smokescreen. There are some questions. We had Tim Jenkins, a former NFL quarterback, and actually P.J. Walker's off-season coach, on the show this past week, and he ranked his quarterbacks, and he put it Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones. And his rationale, he gave Mac Jones, he said Mac Jones was the best at recognizing coverages and getting guys in the right position and doing the things at the line.
Did he even have to recognize the coverage? He just throw it to Waddle or
I know.
Smith?
And behind a line that gave him all the time. But so that
you can say that about Fields too, right?
Yeah,
like all the elite quarterbacks that play on those teams.
So he had a lot of praise for what his mental readiness for the NFL game. And if you're San Francisco, that might be interesting if you think this year is the year. But I still just can't believe that Kyle Shanahan is going to be able to resist a quarterback that can move around. And the idea that, is that he picked Jimmy G and he thought he was going to get it done that way, and he still created a dynamic running game with that type of quarterback, that maybe you can buy that. But I believe this is that, man, you put in a quarterback who can also move around and run the ball, and all of a sudden you're trying to replicate what he did in 2012 offense with RG3 and hopefully better passing along with it. So I think it's going to be hard for him to pick a guy like Mac Jones when there is so much upside with Justin Fields, as well as, maybe Trey Lance is the biggest project at the moment.
I agree.
Hasn't played a lot of football.
So young. I don't. People are critical for his lack of experience, this and that. But those were the circumstances. I mean, he did well when he played.
He's been the project quarterback in this draft the whole time.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're betting upside if you take him.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I missed a troll attempt by Redbeard when we were talking earlier.
Something about ghosts. I don't know.
Are you afraid of, concerned about the ghost Darnold was seeing last year?
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
That's got to be a T-shirt or something,
yeah,
Tony.
I mean, we're trying to figure out how to get it. Maybe we just need Darnold's head, and then I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah, I think his head coach was seeing ghosts when he was introduced as the Jets head coach. Either that or he was possessed by a ghost.
He looked like George. Do you remember there was a press conference George Bush gave one time, and there was a fly right in front of his face, and he couldn't stop looking at it.
That was freaky.
It was awful, man.
This is the guy that was this guy's coach for 4 years.
Chandler, can you go? I want you to throw two shoes at me and see if I can dodge them like Bush did.
He was like, he was like the guy off of
clip.
What's the
Zach
movie?
Davies?
Mr. Deeds. He was crazy eyes.
All right.
Oreos and French fries.
Tony, do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Chandler?
Yeah.
Shirley, you're a big ghost person.
You're a big Ghostbuster.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do.
All right. So they do. Tony doesn't.
Have you experienced?
That's why I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Because there are no ghosts?
I've never experienced a ghost like actually seen one, but I have captured EVPs and seen some things that I can't explain.
Yeah, I mean, there's a penicillin shot that
Well
cleared
done.
that up.
Thank you.
I did have a friend.
Wait, hold on. Let's
You don't need to do it. I'm not Troy. I don't need the...
I did have a friend once. He asked me a similar question. Do you believe in ghosts? And I said no. And he said, why? I said, I ain't never seen one. And I said, if they're so, if you know, you would think they'd be prevalent enough by this point, I would know somebody who saw one or something. He said this though.
Have you ever seen $1 million in cash?
He said, have you ever been to China? And I was like, no. And he said, do you believe in it? I said, no.
Doesn't exist. The world, not only is the world flat. Well, Tony, you have been to Italy.
Yes.
So there are places outside of the United States.
Totally. And I've seen the curvature of the earth, so I believe it's not flat. I always wondered why Kyrie thought that. It's like, how you going to say it's flat when you fly more than anybody?
Because Kyrie is different.
He just hits
This
different.
is the guy that sprays sage around the arena before he plays basketball.
I don't
He
believe...
believes in ghosts.
I guess there are UFOs technically because that stands for unidentified flying objects.
Right.
And if you see an object you can't identify, then it's a UFO. But I don't... I kind of feel like you with the... by now, we would have seen like an alien or something, right? They could be out there.
I
but
think
like,
the alien is easier to comprehend because the mathematical numbers make it more possible. But we're not talking about aliens when we talk about ghosts. We're talking about spiritual beings that can influence the world.
The aliens are alive. Ghosts would be...
Yeah, like if there's bacteria on Mars, there's an alien.
True.
Right?
It's an alien life form.
Man, we have gotten off the beaten path here.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
I don't think so personally.
Have you ever been to Pat Tola's lights?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see the light? I did.
I don't think I saw it that night.
I saw it.
What do you mean you don't think you have personally?
I don't think I have a ghost story to tell.
But do you have a ghost? Does that imply
It sounds
somebody
like
else
you
has
think
a
you
ghost
might
story?
have seen a ghost.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, well, tell us about the time you think you might have.
No, I'm just trying to think if I have seen one or not. I don't know.
So you're trying to tell me if you saw a ghost?
But like, it's one of those things.
If
you have a ghost story, then you would remember it.
Well, I saw a lot of people at the store today. One of them could have been a ghost.
Bingo.
I mean, do you believe in vampires? I mean, I see people out every night. I go out. I don't know. Might be a vampire.
I don't believe in vampires.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, that's why you don't believe in them.
No.
I thought you did believe in them.
I haven't really given my answer yet.
Do you?
What is a ghost?
I want to turn the lights off and get a flashlight and say, do you believe in ghosts?
All right, would you go in the bathroom right now with all the lights off and say Bloody Mary 3 times?
Absolutely.
Look, can we restart this conversation and you do it as Coach Smith the whole time?
I was on a recruiting trip one time.
I thought I was recruiting a 4-star recruit out of Virginia.
Turned out
to be a ghost.
Guess what? When it came to sign his letter of intent, he was a ghost.
He ghosted me. I know that much.
I waited at the gym. I waited at the gym at Green Central High School, and he didn't show up.
So I think he's a ghost. All right.
I died, by the way, on the tweet you put out. When it was and then he signed with LSU.
What a great recruiting story.
So funny.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back.
Man, we talked about win totals in the National Football League, and then we ended up talking about ghosts.
I'm like fascinated by the topic.
I am too.
I think people like that discussion more. Probably.
If it was up to me, we would spend the whole show talking about ghosts and have people call in and give their ghost stories.
I will ask I'll ask Brian North, Mark Greenhalgh, and Morgan their thoughts on ghosts.
I bet Morgan has a story about a ghost.
Well, you
I've been to several places that are reportedly haunted. Some of them give off more of a creepy vibe than others, but I've never personally seen a ghost. My mother claims she has. And
I wonder
I've done
if you could
some
encounter a
ghost
ghost and not see it, right?
You can, yeah. There's poltergeist activity, which is
an invisible ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's in the room, but you can't.
You know what I think
see
is
it.
weirder
You
than
physically
seeing a
can see
ghost? Is having a dream about dead relatives. And
God.
And touching, like shaking their hands or giving them hugs. And
Yeah,
I've never
I've
had
had that. I've had that.
Really?
Never.
And waking up.
Thanks for
and
ruining
thinking,
my life,
oh
guys.
my God.
I've had
I've had that happen.
grandfather and uncle have been in my dreams quite a bit.
And have full on conversations.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This picture, what a bum.
Redbeard says, was that Ronnie? Ronald Acuna just knocked in 2 more runs. Redbeard says, now remember, Chandler is scared of Troy jumping from behind doors. So
That might have been a ghost.
is that a ghost? Second timeout. We'll come back more with Tony Dunn when we return after this.
Hey, O's fans, the all-new 2021 5-game flex plan is available now at Orioles.com/flex, providing you with the ultimate flexibility to select the games that fit your schedule and priority before the general public to select your games, including popular promo dates like the Jim Palmer bobblehead and Birdland Hawaiian shirt. Starting at just $99, you'll save big over single-game ticket costs, plus all plans are protected by O'Surance. Visit Orioles.com/flex.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
In studio today with Natalie Edwards from AG Home Solutions and eXp Realty. Natalie, you have a unique partnership because you work in the real estate market and also work with AG Home Solutions. How does that help your clients?
So it's interesting, the trends that we're currently seeing in real estate. Inventory is so low. We're seeing a high percentage of folks who want to renovate their spaces, perhaps add a home office because now they're working from home. And so they come to us with those design ideas and we're able to help them navigate through that.
What other trends are you seeing in the marketplace right now?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing increased needs for home office space, folks being able to do virtual learning from home. So how can we redesign that space so it's functional? We're also seeing folks that do want to take advantage of this being a seller's market, and so they want to freshen up that space and get it ready to put on the market. And so we can come in and provide them with some good guidance on things that they might want to consider before they list their property.
For real estate or remodeling, how can folks contact you?
252-947-2526 or aghomesolutions.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts is your hometown shop for gifts and fresh flowers. You can find unique items like Brewmate and apparel by Southern Couture, Simply Southern, and Bella Cotton. The Farmville Flower Basket also has items coming in daily for the spring and summer. Whether it's a gift or a flower arrangement for that special someone, you can find it at Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts. Give them a call today at 753-4217 or stop by their shop on Main Street in Farmville.
Hey, Troy, have you heard about The Place?
No, Jason, what place?
It's The Place. It's Washington's newest restaurant on the waterfront. The Place is located in downtown Washington in the Harbor District with waterfront seating in the back. We're open for bistro-style lunches Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 2 and elevated comfort-style dinners Thursday through Saturday 5 to 9. Plus Sundays, we have the best Southern brunch in town.
Man, that's awesome, Jason. The Place sounds like the place to be.
It is. We look forward to seeing you there. The Place in Washington, North Carolina.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on EC recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Ronald Acuna just scored on a ground ball to shortstop from second base. Yes, you heard me correctly.
This baby Pryor guy is playing like his dad's in the stands watching.
Tony's not happy with Zach Davies right now. Although Javier Baez just really made a stupid play at shortstop a moment ago.
This is stupid. It must be fun watching your baseball team succeed.
Well, they haven't been, but one player has, Ronald Acuna. But
how many outs are there?
There are 2 outs.
Oh, so if he would have just thrown it to first?
Pardon?
Is that what you're saying, throw it to first?
He could have gone to second or first there.
Okay.
And instead got nobody out and threw a one-hopper. The catcher should have called the ball and tagged Acuna out.
I still don't know why he fell down while he was catching that ground ball, too.
And then rolled around like we used to do as kids on the grass. And the Braves do add another one. It's 4-1 as they head to the bottom of the first. All right, we're talking ghosts. We are talking win totals. We're almost out of time with Tony Dunn. I feel like we haven't got much accomplished today with Tony.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Oof. Now, no.
This is a tricky one. I don't believe so. The Finding Bigfoot show, I can't remember. I think it was on Spike TV. That used to be the biggest joke of a show because every time they would make it seem like they were going to find them, and they would do these stupid calls, and at the end, they would just be like,
well, we're packing up.
It was a big tree.
I basically don't believe on anything that the internet has not proven already. Because like right now, I can Google like everything.
Pretty much
there.
I like Mitch Hedberg when he said maybe Bigfoot is grainy. Like
is grainy?
Grainy. Like the photos aren't grainy. That's just how big. That's how Bigfoot looks.
Mitch Hedberg, you're the second person that's brought him up to me recently. Yeah, he's got a couple.
I watch his stuff like once every few months just because it's the best. I love the
when you go into a place and the escalator says out of order, why don't they just call it stairs?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's good. No surprise here. The NFC least has the lowest win total for the team with the projected most wins. There's got to be a better way to say that.
I don't even know what you said. It means that the Redskins are the leader?
The top team in that division has the lowest win total amongst division
all the divisions.
Leaders. Yeah.
And it is 8.
And it is who?
The Red.
Washington is 8. I'll give you that, Tony. But there is one team ahead of them.
Don't say the Eagles.
It's the overinflated Cowboys, as always.
Why? We don't even know what Dak's going to...
What's Cowboys
They're
doing?
more than 8?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly. They're 9.5. Washington is 8. Giants and Eagles at 7.
I don't even understand how they're going to win a game with that coach of theirs.
Much less on a gun rack.
Yeah, because Mike McCarthy, that is a dumpster fire, and he is the one that will be fired at the end of this season. Dak's got a long way to come back, too.
In the season?
Oh, certainly. Certainly.
You think Jerry Jones has the guts?
Does Jerry Jones have the guts? Yeah, he's got guts, money. He's got it all. I wonder if they have the NFL coach to be fired.
Ooh, that's a cool discussion.
NBA, I don't know. But McCarthy's got to be up there. Maybe
he's on the hot seat. You can go ahead and automatically put the Detroit guy and the Eagles guy.
Jets.
He was on the hot seat during his introductory press conference.
So let's go quickly to the north. No surprise, the Packers have the most. What do you think their number's at?
12.5.
11.
11 is correct, Tony Dunn. followed by the Vikings, Bears, and Lions. Lions are at 5.
Oh, what are the Vikings at, like 7?
Vikings are at 8.5. Can Kirk Cousins go 9
Where are
and
the
8?
Bears?
The Bears are 7.5.
That's insanity. Who's their quarterback?
Andy
Dalton.
They got enough.
That's another coach that's on the hot seat. Nagy guy.
Oh,
He's
God.
gotta
He's got to be maybe higher than McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right. AFC East. So it looks very odd not to see the Patriots at the top of the list, but of course it's got to be the Bills. Where do you have the Bills and their win total?
They're at 11.
11.5.
Yeah.
10.5.
Wow.
So both of you guys should go over with your projections there. Dolphins and Patriots have the same exact number. What is it?
9.
8.
9 is correct, Tony Dunn. You're making a good push here. Is the Jets total high at 6?
Yes.
I agree.
Absolutely.
See them going 4 and 13.
You gotta believe Salah comes in and just turns everything around for them to get 6.
And to win that bet, they have to get 7.
Yeah.
So you feel really good about going under, I think, rather than over.
I mean, this quarterback could be good that they get, but that doesn't make everybody else on the team great. And a new staff. I think the Panthers. What we win when Rule came in the first
5.
before the year before it was 5 as well.
5.
Correct. So we were a 5-win team that got a new coach, got some players. Did not get a stud quarterback, but got a different quarterback, and we just came in at 5, and everybody felt good about it. This would be, if they win 7 games, that's going to be one remarkable thing.
This might be my favorite bet so far. Under on the Jets.
It's not a bad one.
High totals in the AFC North. What team has the biggest number beside their name?
The Browns.
You agree, Chandler?
It's either the Browns or the Ravens, and the Ravens, I think, didn't win any brownie points with the media and stuff last year.
The Browns win brownie points.
Are the Steelers?
The Browns won brownie points.
Are the Steelers at the bottom of the barrel in that?
No, the Bengals are. The answer is the Ravens at 11, followed by the Browns at 10.
So neck and neck.
I kind of like if Burrow's healthy.
What is there? 6?
6.5. I think they can win 7.
I bet you they can win 7 easier than the Jets can.
Exactly. So what are the Steelers? 8.5.
Steelers are 9.
I would still stay away from that Cincy one though.
Tony, you made the comment coming in here that the Colts won 11 games with Phillip Rivers last year. What do you think the Colts number is with Carson Wentz this year?
9.5.
Chandler?
8.
10. So they're expecting them. That's the biggest number in the division, even ahead of the Titans.
Wow.
Are the Titans
disrespect?
Are they undervalued again at 9.5? I think yes.
The trend continues.
They can go 10 and 7.
They could. It's tough for them though. Everything has to go right. Is that Derrick Henry has to continue to pop off 2,000 yards. Tannehill has to be good.
I think at this point, Tannehill's just is a good quarterback.
Okay.
I think
the right system.
We've seen enough. Here's a good one for you guys.
But they have a new offensive coordinator.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because
Arthur Smith
her guy went to Atlanta. What's the Texans number?
1.
Man.
That's too hard. Is it with Watson? Is it not? All right, I'm going to say 2.5. 2.5.
Man, I'm going to go 2.
All right, this might be our second favorite bet then. It's 5.
Oh, man.
Take it.
Poor David Culley.
Why?
David Culley.
He's on the hot seat too, by the way.
This is the most exciting day.
David Culley has put himself on the hot seat. Guys, if
sat on it. He saw
David Culley has been awarded today by being projected to win 5 games for the Texans this year. He's probably in his office today reading this and going,
I'm proud.
I'm a great coach.
This is all me.
This is awesome.
Hey, look, they do have Tyrod Taylor. People forget that, Chandler. Yes, they do. And then you've got, all right, these are fascinating because
it sounds like we're really interested in the AFC South. Is it South?
Well, Texans.
Jags. We haven't mentioned Jags yet, have we?
What does Trevor Lawrence do to the 1-win Jaguars? How much is
6.5.
4.
Ooh. Well, it's in between that number at 6.
Wait, what did you say, Tony?
I said 6.5.
That is a lot of wins, Tony, for a 1-win team.
Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah.
There's excitement there. He's going to bring in a bunch and they have so much money. right? And they have all these picks, so you're going to get a quarterback, and we got to go look in free agency. I know a bunch of guys have gone there in free agency, so that team's going to get quick in a hurry. Get
good,
quick,
or
in a
better
hurry.
at least.
Yes.
I'm not ready to say they win 7 games. I can tell you that. I would go under there. All right,
I'm ready for it.
Tony's ready.
I got 5 on it. You take a 5 on it.
I got 5 on it.
Chiefs, the biggest total in all of football. Did I say the number earlier?
No, but it's got to be 12.
I forgot.
12. What do you got?
Chiefs. Let's go. I'm going to go 13.
It's 12, and I would take the over there. Can they lose?
I'd stay away from it.
They would.
It's high.
Well, and
It's
you'd
tough.
have to win 13 to win the bet. But that's 13-4. I mean, do you really see them losing 5 games? I don't.
Yeah.
What do you got, Chandler? Over, under at 12.
I said 13, so I'm going over.
Okay. Who is the second place team in that division, guys?
So, tell me the teams real quick in the division so I don't got to think about it.
You got the Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chargers is correct.
And then it goes Raiders.
And you like their QB, right?
Yeah.
So how many can they win this year?
10.
I bet you it's at 8.5.
It's at 9.
Yeah.
So if you like them at 9, you can take it. Followed by the Raiders, who are just... What are the Raiders?
They were 8-8 last year, and they're kind of destined to just be 8-9 this year.
Well, their win total's 8. That's kind of what they are. Is the Broncos total a little high at 7.5?
Yes.
Yes,
very much
yes.
so.
And is John Gruden on the hot seat? How long do you have to give? If you're not really seeing a change, how long do you guys give? How long do you give these guys?
It feels like
National Football League, at least. I don't know.
It feels like they should be better, though, right?
He's had 3 years already.
Yeah.
And those 3 years have been, some of it's looked all right. Carr's gotten better. But the other thing is there's been a lot of just oddities surrounding the situation when it came to the Antonio Brown moment that you had. That was one thing. And their defense is just getting worse and worse and worse as things go on. So they have a good offense. Their offense can put up points. They got a lot of receivers in the draft last year. They're real good. And Ruggs?
Yeah.
Some guys like that. But until their defense gets better.
They got a great tight end in Waller.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos at 7.5 is my favorite bet.
Under?
Yep.
Under 7.5.
There's no way they win 8 games.
They already have like a QB on we're using hot seat, that term a lot. Drew Lock is firmly on that hot seat. I don't think they believe in him. I would love to get our buddy Pat, Raiders fan, in here because his big thing is running backs don't matter. So what do? They have the young guy in Jacobs, and then they bring in and pay a lot of money to Kenyon Drake. So he's not happy about his. He just doesn't think running backs matter that much.
Not when it monetarily, you need to get them cheap there because the production difference is usually not giant. But when you already got a good one, why are you going to double down? That's kind of like the Panthers. Panthers are paying Christian McCaffrey. We just can't afford to dish out any more money for the position. Sorry, fool.
Yeah, you got one guy. Who's the backup for the Panthers?
I was
this
just
year?
about to ask that question.
Oh,
Is he
we
in
have
the
no
draft?
idea. Yeah,
Is Reggie Bonifant still on our roster?
people say that, and I said there are 5 running backs on the Panthers roster, and I challenge anybody to name any one of them other than Christian McCaffrey and Reggie Bonifant.
I think it's exciting going into a draft thinking you might get a running back, though, Tony, because those can hit.
Oh, Rodney Smith.
Okay, good job.
But
I don't. Not when you already have that. That's like the Saints. They don't need a running back. They got Kamara.
So you don't even want to draft one like in the 4th or 5th round?
No, not really. I mean, I just get somebody in free agency if somebody gets hurt.
Okay, well maybe I'm wrong.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
This is the first time I've ever been wrong.
All right, before Tony goes, I want to ask him about there's a potential rule change where position players can wear single-digit numbers. What is your thoughts on that? I've seen where a lot of Panther fan accounts are putting graphics of Christian McCaffrey in the number 5, which he wore at Stanford. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but what is your thoughts?
I actually am against it. And the reason I'm against it is if you bought a Christian McCaffrey jersey and he changes the number,
Now you got to buy another.
You got to buy another one, or does your cool points go up because you had the old jersey? I don't know. And I'm just really not interested in it at all anyway.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you.
So
Robbie Anderson posted this guy's a character. He posted an Instagram picture with like 4 different pictures, and each one was a Photoshop of him wearing like single-digit jerseys, and it was like maybe I think 7, 9. It was like weird numbers.
Did you see the old account that the guy that interpreted Robbie Anderson's tweets? It was such a good. Well, Robbie
Anderson blocked him, right?
Yeah, he did. But this is this was Robbie Anderson's tweet from yesterday. I like this one a lot. Has anybody ever flown on a flight and landed and your luggage missing, and the airline said they can't find it? That's just it. It's like,
has this ever happened to anyone else?
Has anybody lost their luggage before?
He thought he was the first guy ever to have lost luggage. Tony, we are out of time.
All right, see you later.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, man, I had a great time.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Take a time out, come back. We will talk to Brian North as we open up Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. It is Free Beer Friday, so stick around. Hour 3, we've got Michelob Ultra Infusions. We are giving away the organic pack today. Ooh. Stay tuned for that in Hour 3 of today's show. Hour 2 on the way after this.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool and Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual water care sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool and Supply.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
ECU football coach Mike Houston.
You think about like Bruce Bivens and some of those guys, this is the first time they've had the same defensive coordinator and same position coach 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
They know the system. They feel so much more comfortable going into year 2 with Blake. The offensive kids feel so much more comfortable going into year 3 with Donnie.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer, nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. Listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Order in-store or online through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Getaway Friday. Clip Rock here. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, and Brian North joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. North, how you doing today, man?
We are surviving best we can in this day and age, but everything's good. No complaints.
First things first, Brian, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah. Not like Casper the Ghost or I think there's spirits and rhythms and things that are out there. I don't know if I believe in like evil ghosts that haunt you.
Okay.
It'd be kind of cool. I mean, there's times I think about if I could come back and haunt some people and get revenge. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. But I'm not too big into all the evil ghosts out there trying to get you down.
All right. Okay. Good answer. So you don't think you've never seen one, but you believe there's like some kind of spirits kind of out there with us.
Yeah. I haven't had any interaction with them. I think I bore ghosts. So but
all right, fair enough.
It's complicated.
It is. That was. It actually came from. We were talking about Sam Darnold earlier, and Redbeard on Twitter said, "Are you concerned about Darnold seeing ghosts last year?" And that kind of led to us talking about ghosts. So, kind of never know where the show's going to go. In fact, yesterday it went in a bad direction, and I have egg on my face, as does Shirley. Shirley sent me a tweet and said we need to address this. The tweet was a link to a publication called the Bucklesbury Gazette. And it had a story about Brian North opening a salon for dogs and their owners. And I was like, what in the world? I've never heard Brian even mention this or talk about this.
Yeah.
And we kept, and this is a great example. I pride myself, Brian, on really not believing anything I see on the internet. But for whatever reason, I was taking this to be 100% factual. And we kind of kept reading, and there was a point where I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Is this real? I was honored that the business's name had my name in the title, Dippin' Clip. And then we kept on reading, and found out that this was a complete parody. So
yeah,
Shirley and I got, and we had planned on talking to you today about your new business venture, Brian. But why did John Dawson do this, and why are you a part of it?
So John Dawson has a long, sordid history of, he was a columnist for the Kinston Free Press for many years. And he used to write these satirical, funny columns, and they would always start with a serious note, like, oh my gosh, can't believe this is happening. But the more you would read, the more absurd they would become, and you realized it was parody. This article is probably one of those that he did not get as absurd as he normally does, and so there has been some doubt about it, and, you know, as a lot of us like to do, we venture into other businesses occasionally to try to make some extra money. And, so this one didn't go off the deep end like he normally does, but this is John Dawson's been doing this for 20-something years. He doesn't work for the Kinston Free Press anymore. He's one of Brian Hanks' good friends. in Kinston, and he started up this Bucklesbury Gazette. Bucklesbury is where he lives out in Lenore County, and so yeah, that's it. I was out and about. You're not the first one. I've had several people ask me where my new dog salon is and how they can be a part of it. So.
About and at the point where I was still believing this to be true, Shirley read a quote that really took me aback from Brian North that said, "It's a little known fact, but I studied cosmetology before stumbling into broadcasting game. As much as I love being on camera, cutting hair is my true calling."
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, we got pretty good there, Brian. So well done to John Dawson. I'll say that.
Anybody who looks at my hair should know that obviously I don't take a whole lot of pride into the nature of how my hair is cut. So.
It also says a lot about what I think about you, though, Brian, because you have a hardworking farming background. You have the housing projects, like the projects on homes that you do, and like you have an eclectic mix of things outside of sports. So it was like pretty believable to me that you could start another business. My thing was, I figured I would have heard about it, or maybe it would have been mentioned. Like I had never heard cosmetology in your background, and so that was quite comical. So everybody read that article; it was pretty funny. Bucklesbury.com, check it out.
And he, I think the line I thought where people might get it was I was not hired at WCTI to be their sports director. I was hired to be the hairdresser.
I didn't even see that part. See, that's another problem. You see headlines, you just kind of read, you skim, you don't really dive through the whole story. That is, I missed that as well. So
yeah. I think it happened. I think that happened to us a couple of weeks ago too on their station. But yeah, that can happen sometimes.
All right, good stuff, Brian. We got some high school football playoffs going on tonight. How's Brett Kennedy, by the way? I know he had a second vaccine shot. He was feeling a little dizzy. He did join us on the program on his day off yesterday. But is he ready to shoot some games tonight? Is he doing all right?
He radio commented dizzy and out sick. I'm afraid of what he had to say yesterday. Yes, he is back. I don't know if he's 100%, but says he's ready to go tonight.
And we got J.H. Rhodes in action here locally. My new favorite coach, Perry Owens, will be in action coming up tonight. Tell him to put some ranch on it. Eat your words. And what other games? What are the big games?
Put some ranch on it.
Thank you, Coach. What are some big games you're looking forward to tonight, Brian?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that J.H. Rose Lee County game might be one of the best in the state. That's like an Eastern Regional Championship game. When you look at both teams are undefeated, both have similar outscoring their opponents by a whole bunch and allowing very little. I mean, this is that's an Eastern Final game in the first round.
Are they playing tonight, Brian, due to how the COVID year, how the playoffs structured? Like, this would not be a normal first round matchup in normal years?
Correct, because there's less teams in the playoffs, and the way the NCHSAA didn't really spend a whole lot of time in the seeding process. They just slap some seeds on whoever and they meet up wherever. So it wasn't due diligence on the NCHSAA's part. It's like the old days of when they pre-assigned conferences, seeds to conferences before they even looked at the team. So that's kind of one of those deals where it was just a bad luck of the draw. So that's a huge game for them. There's a couple others like that, like Princeton and Edenton Holmes is another huge one of undefeated teams. They should not be meeting this early, but they are. And really the take is, you're going to meet good teams at some point, and why not now? So you get by tonight, maybe the road even gets easier for you. But a real tough couple of first-round games tonight. Scotland County at New Bern's, another one we're interested in. We think is going to be a really good game as well. So there's a few of them out there. So, look, I think Washington is going to have its hands full with South Greenville. It's a 1-8 seed deal, but that's I think it's going to be interesting to see how Washington, off that emotional win where they were putting ranch on everything, to see how they respond in this first round against the 8th seed.
Check out the highlights on WCTI 12 coming up tonight with North, Brett Kennedy, and crew over there. Brian, how about the Houston debacle? ECU goes all the way out to Houston and can't play. COVID concerns within the Cougars program. And it's one thing if it first came up yesterday, but it didn't. We've been hearing about this all week, and Houston's ready to go, and then they say they can't play. ECU makes the trip out there, spends a lot of money they're probably not going to get back unless, I don't know, can they sue Houston or the conference and try to get that money back? It's a very, very frustrating deal for Cliff Godwin, who actually, we talked to Corey Gloor today. They are playing a purple gold scrimmage on Houston's field, Wisdom Hunt versus Gavin Williams. So they are able to get some baseball in, but man, they got to be pretty pissed over there on ECU side.
I would think so. Is it revenge for beating the basketball team? Is it?
Good call.
It certainly is curious. And then my next thought was there someone else in Texas that canceled their series and has a weekend open that maybe they could, go on to somewhere else and keep playing? But
well, that's the thing too. It's such short notice, Brian. They had already had talks with Creighton. Like, I feel like if Houston would have bowed out Tuesday or Wednesday, ECU was fine. They were going to go to Omaha and play Creighton. We know for a fact that those
World Series.
Yeah, they're right there in Omaha. Like they I know for a fact they were talking and would have got a series in. So that hurts you too.
Right. There's no doubt. Now, did I see somebody, and I don't, sometimes you can't trust everything you read on the internet, obviously. But
was this on bucklesberry.com, what you're about to say? Or
it was Houston has a really low RPI, and so that was going to bring ECU's RPI down if they actually played them. So maybe it's good they don't play them. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
It's just weird how some of these things play out sometimes.
Yeah, frustrating for sure. ECU will be back home. They're going to go a long time without playing a road series this year. They'll be back home against UCF.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they find somebody to play midweek now, just to get a game in like Tuesday or something. But we'll see. We've said this from the beginning of this pandemic. You put schedules in pencil now because things can change really quickly, and it's how quickly you can adjust. And I think baseball, of any of the sports, is the one you can adjust really quickly and add people, delete people from the schedule pretty easily.
Brian North joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brian, Wes Miller introduced as Cincinnati's head basketball coach, the former Tar Heel player, the former UNCG coach. I heard him today at his introductory press conference say, "I'm single, I don't have any kids, so I'm going to be married to this basketball program." So I did not know that about Wes Miller. But what do you think about that hire? And look, we'll be seeing him in Minges coming up when Cincinnati comes to town.
Well, a lot of Carolina people were hoping he was going to be their head coach this year, and they liked what he had done right up the road at UNCG, but instead he goes to the AAC in Cincinnati, and a program with good basketball pedigree. Obviously, he did a great job in Greensboro, and so now he goes to a place, a little higher caliber basketball, a little chance to recruit higher caliber players, and let's see how he does there. So that was kind of one of the knocks of why he didn't get the UNC job, was maybe he hadn't competed at that level of basketball yet in his career, and it would be too much for him. So now he gets a chance to do that at Cincinnati. Good hire. He's got that bulldog tenacity himself. I think he kind of fits in with the attitude of Cincinnati. They've always been kind of hard scrabble in their basketball program, going back to the days of Huggy Bear and then Nick Cronin. So look, they're I think he's in a good position there to keep doing what they've been doing at Cincinnati, and that's play good hard-nosed basketball with some pretty good talent.
Yeah, I would like to read more and find out more. I'm kind of curious about the whole Brandon thing because it seemed like a good hire, but apparently everybody hated him there, and he had a lot of issues within that program. So Wes Miller seems like the personality that can maybe come in and clean that up with the remaining players. But there's an issue too, Brian, just like all across the country. Cincinnati had a mass exodus, kind of like a Wichita State situation. They were able to have a good year in 2020. Maybe Cincinnati can have a similar year to when Greg Marshall got pushed out.
Yeah, it's going to be all on how he recruits really quickly and gets transfers to come in, and that's it's a Band-Aid situation now in college basketball.
Yeah,
it's really just taking somebody else's pieces and putting them into yours and trying to figure out if how they're going to do. So look, it's not an easy situation, but you're right. He has no other distractions, so he'll be focused on that. It's like I said, I think the Carolina people will certainly be watching that situation as well.
They'll also be watching a lot of former Tar Heels on the sidelines, Brian, including Jeff Lebo. Were you surprised at all when you saw his name get back into the coaching world?
Certainly when it popped up, you go, oh, but then it makes sense, right? I mean, first of all, his son Creighton's on the basketball team, so he gets to play with him, or gets to coach him. He has head coaching experience, which I thought was the biggest single important factor for Hubert Davis, is now he has a guy sitting next to him who has been in game situations, who's a really good X's and O's coach and can help him with some of those things. So I thought that was the number one reason. Recruiting, we've all had the debates with Jeff and his recruiting over the years. So I don't think recruiting was his strength. I think it was his being a head basketball coach, and I thought it was good because everybody else on that staff does not have any sort of head coaching experience at all. So I like that decision. I think for Hubert Davis and company, it's going to come down to recruiting, right? I think Hubert knows basketball. He's played in the NBA. He knows X's and O's a little bit. It's can they recruit? UNC always used to recruit itself. Just the stickers on the jersey would get people there. That may not be the case here going forward. It's still pretty powerful, but may not be as powerful as it was. Can he get into homes and recruit people to get them to go there and stay a couple of years?
How do you like the Jaden Gardner fit with Tony Bennett and Virginia, Brian? Is that going to be a successful marriage for a year?
Yeah, well, I think so. Look, Jaden, I think is a coachable kid. When he had his final list, I didn't think UVA would be the top get just because I didn't know if his style of play fit in at UVA and would maximize his abilities, because you would think he'd want to go somewhere to showcase his abilities for the next level.
Yeah, a little more up and down, up to, more opportunities to score.
Right, and I think with his style, look, maybe it does fit his style. He's a two-way player, right? He likes to play some defense, loves to rebound, loves hard-nosed basketball. Maybe it does fit his style more than I thought. Or certainly, when you're going to get a job after basketball, the University of Virginia looks good on a resume when you get that diploma. So there's some other good things there, and it's still close enough to home for he and his family. So, when it was the finalist list, I wasn't sure that was the top choice, but it certainly is his choice. It's a winning culture. Tony Bennett's a pretty good basketball coach. His players absolutely love playing for him. You see very few guys leave UVA. So, look, good fit for him. I hope it works out for him, and it's everything that he wants it to be.
Brian North joining us. He is not a cosmetologist, but
no.
I even had thoughts, Brian. I haven't got a haircut in so long. I hate getting my hair cut. I keep asking my wife to do it. She doesn't want to do it. It's going to be a big cleanup job. She's just afraid she's going to screw it up. I always wear a hat. I might just cut it myself. But I also had a brief thought yesterday that, you know what, I'll get Brian North to cut my hair. And even though you're not a cosmetologist, I might ask you to do it anyway, Brian. I think it'd be pretty funny, the outcome. See how good you could do.
Let me just tell you this about me and my hair cutting past. For my senior picture in high school, I grew up at a poor dairy farm. I cut my own hair for my senior picture and it didn't work out very well. And then when I was working in TV, when I first got in, it was making less than poverty wages. I looked into investing into a Flowbee. Flowbee was really seriously on my list to get to, connected to the vacuum, and it has the pre-cut stuff. And I was seriously about to get a Flowbee at one point in my life to save money. So
wait, that's a real product? I thought that was like a fake gag product.
No. Google the Flowbee. You might really like this thing. It hooks up to a vacuum, and then it has blades on it, and it sucks your hair out straight and then cuts it at a certain length.
Oh, wow. So they have it like at Walmart and online and stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Amazon. All right, I might look into a Flowbee. Whoa. $240. Is this what wait. Oh, but you're saying over the long, cut your entire family's hair. Yeah, I'm sure my wife and daughter would be into the Flowbee. Look, guys, I made an investment. We're going to have to do this at least for the next 5 years to get my money's worth. The Flowbee.
There you go.
Awesome. Nord, thanks for joining us, man. Have a great weekend.
You do the same, Clippy.
All right, the Flowbee. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We will talk to Mark Greenhalgh, to give you a HV3 update, talk about what's going on at the RBC Heritage. When we return on Pirate Radio Live, Wilson Contreras just hit one out of Wrigley Field. It is 4-2 Braves over the Cubs. Take a timeout, come back, and have more for you on PRL after this. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, wish I'd have brought this up with Brian North, but just saw it after I hung up with him. North Carolina has brought in a pretty good basketball player via the transfer portal, Brady Manick. You might not know the name, but if you watch the tournament or Big 12 basketball, he is the kind of long-haired Larry Bird-looking guy from Oklahoma. Hits a lot of threes.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, you might not...
They picked him up?
Yes. They have added him to the... in fact, there's a good, great side-by-side Shirley right here.
That is outstanding.
He's got the stash, kind of the mullet going.
He does look like the French Hick, the Hick from French Lick.
He can stroke it too, a lot like Larry Bird. So that's a pickup for Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line and talk some golf with Greeny, Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. You can hear it 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturdays on Pirate Radio. Greeny, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Clip, how you doing?
Hey, doing great. Before we get started, Greeny, our question of the day, this stemmed from a conversation we had in hour number 1. It actually got started when we were talking about Sam Darnold, and talking about him seeing ghosts, and we kind of went off of that. And I'm asking all my guests today, Greeny, do you believe in ghosts?
That's a tough one. I think I believe in ghosts that people see because their mind generates it. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that one. I've never seen a ghost. I don't know anybody that says they've seen a ghost. So that's a tough question. I mean, I think it could go either way at this point, but I haven't seen one.
Okay, he has not seen a ghost. They could be out there. That's kind of the consensus here. I mean, some people need to see something to believe it. Others think that even if you don't see it, there are kind of spirits around you. So, all right, good answer, Greeny. Mark, before we get to the RBC Heritage, let's talk about the Masters and a bit anticlimactic, I guess, with Matsuyama winning and dominating, although it got tight there for a second. How did you like the final day there at the Masters? And I don't know, was there enough drama for you on Sunday?
Yeah, well, it was one of those deals where, with Hideki that, he hit some questionable shots down the stretch. And, if Xander Schauffele doesn't hit it in the water on 16 and basically let him off the hook, 17 and 18 become difficult tee shots and difficult holes to negotiate. I mean, as evidenced by the fact that, Hideki had a 2-shot lead going to 18, sitting in the middle of the fairway, and he hits it in the middle of the bunker. I mean, just kind of a mid to low iron into the green and completely whiffed on it. So imagine if you're tied for the lead or you got somebody that just sticks one in there for it may be 10 or 15 feet with a chance to tie you if he makes birdie and you got to make par. So I don't know if it was necessarily anticlimactic. It looked like it was going to be there for a little bit, and then everything kind of tightened back up again. So I kind of enjoyed the finish.
I was not familiar with the name Zalatoris before last week, Greeny. What did you know and what do you know about this kid that had a great showing in Augusta?
Well, let's just put it this way. 2 years ago, he was ranked number 1,166 in the world.
Wow.
Which means that in terms of world golf ranking points, he barely had more than you or I. And we don't even play professional golf. So, if you want to talk about a meteoric rise, I mean, it's almost the same thing as Colin Morikawa. I mean, Colin Morikawa, before the 2019 U.S. Open, he was outside the top 1,000 in the world himself. And qualified into the U.S. Open, had some success there, and things kind of took off from there. So you do see this once in a while where guys have the ability to do this. But the credit that I'll give Will Zalatoris is, I mean, in all honesty, for all 18 holes, he hit it better than anybody that they showed during the entire coverage on Sunday. He was more composed than a lot of the guys that you see out there, and I think that makes a big difference. I mean, he wasn't flustered by good shots. He wasn't flustered by bad shots, And I mean, sometimes you see both of those. You see guys that hit a bunch of shots in a row and get in contention. Their heart rate gets going. They get a little quick. They can't control things. And next thing you know, they're making bogeys and doubles. And he controlled it really well from both sides, whether he was hitting it good or bad.
Mark, the goal is to win. Can you come away from Augusta not winning but still feeling good about your game and having confidence? And I asked that when looking at a couple of names. John Rahm had a great round 4, finished 4 back of Matsuyama at -6. But Jordan Spieth wins the previous week. He goes -7 for the tournament there at Augusta. Like, I don't know, is this kind of building to something you think for Jordan Spieth? Back-to-back really good weeks of golf. Can he build off that?
Yeah, I think for some guys you look at it as a positive. For other guys, not necessarily. It really depends on who you are. I mean, Will Zalatoris, he's seeing all these golf courses really for the first time.
Yeah.
If it's Augusta National or this week at the Heritage where he's back in contention again, although Stuart Stink's kind of getting away from everybody. But, those kind of guys look at it as a positive. I mean, obviously, he's only in there because of his success at the U.S. Open last year. And was able to get inside the top 10 and get an invite to all the majors for this year. So, from that standpoint, you look at it as an opportunity for some guys. Other guys are going to look at it as a bit of a disappointment. Now, Jordan Spieth's still making his way back. I mean, I was not sold that he was the guy to lay the money on over the weekend at Augusta National, just because I haven't quite seen enough consistency out of his game. Yeah, he won the week before. But, you're talking about an entirely different field. You're talking about an entirely different feel in terms of trying to win that particular golf tournament. So, but definitely steps in the positive direction. And I still think John Rahm it's never a bad time to have a child. But I mean, I think if the baby had been born, let's say 3 or 4 days earlier, or, obviously had been born after he'd played, I think he still had a chance to win the Masters. I mean, as evidenced by the fact that he didn't show up there, really didn't have a whole lot of practice time. And by the time the 4th round rolled around, he was the best guy out there.
Talking to Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show, we did our Masters pool last week, Shirley, Chandler, and we didn't have a lot of our names near the top of the leaderboard. Just about everybody at the top of this week's leaderboard was on our teams. Corey Connors, Chandler, I think you had him. Morikawa for me. Sanjay, who had a really bad Masters, Shirley, is -9 at this tournament at the RBC Heritage. But as Mark said, Stewart Cink, -15 right now on day 2. That is a crazy number. And our guy, Harold Varner III, playing some good golf right now. He is 7 under, -2 today, and he is tied for 9th in this tournament. We're talking about this leading up to this week's tournament. Mark, we want to see, and we being the Pirate fans, see Harold Varner III at Augusta one day. To do that, he needs to win, or he could also have a high enough standing, I guess, to get to Augusta, Mark. I don't know if you know all the parameters, but what does HV3 need to do to get to Augusta and play in the Masters one day?
Well, obviously, you've got to finish high in one of the majors. So obviously, if you can generally, get in some of them are different, but if he gets a top 10 in a major championship, so let's just say he can get his way into the PGA Championship, you get a top 10, you get into the Masters. Obviously, if you win, you get into the Masters. The other thing would be is if he, he doesn't necessarily have to win, but he has a good enough year where he can get enough world ranking points to get into the top 50. At various times, they allow that. So if you're in the top 50 at the end of the year, then you're into the Masters. And then there's a couple of other cutoffs that say, okay, if you're inside the top 50 at this particular moment in time during the first couple of months of the season or 2 weeks prior to the Masters, then you get in. So there's a couple different ways to do that, but really the easiest one is to try and work your way into a U.S. Open, and with his status, he might have to qualify in. He'd probably have to go to one of those regional sites, which is usually the Monday after Jack's tournament, the Memorial, and get his way into the U.S. Open that way, and then play well enough in the U.S. Open to get a spot in the Masters.
Talking to Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. Mark, where are we at on the PGA calendar? What events are you looking forward to coming up in the near future? What do you have your eye on down the road?
Well, obviously, we got a great one coming up at the PGA Championship next month down at Kiowa. So that is kind of the next big event that we're really all looking forward. Obviously, a couple weeks before that, here in Charlotte, you got the Wells Fargo Championship. So that's another probably of the bigger events that a lot of the players look forward to. A couple other events sprinkled in there. And, so the PGA Championship is definitely the one. I mean, I go Wells Fargo, then 2 weeks after that is the PGA, then 2 weeks after that is Jack's tournament up at the Memorial. Then 2 weeks after that is the U.S. Open. So every 2 weeks, to me, is the big event coming up, starting early in May.
Good deal. Good schedule coming up on the PGA Tour. Greeny, what do you guys have planned for Saturday's edition of the Golf Shop Radio Show?
Well, we are going to catch up with our man down on the ground, Ron Green Jr. He's down at Harbor Town, so he'll kind of give us an update from there. We're going to get a little update from the First Tee upstate down in South Carolina. We'll talk to Bill Bender of the Sporting News. And then, if you remember, the week before the Masters, we had the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and out of Wake Forest, Amelia Migliaccio, she lost in a playoff, so we're going to talk to her about her experience there. I mean, you lose in a playoff in the Women's Augusta National Amateur, and basically you say that you're not going to pursue a career in professional golf, so she's going to go be a writer, I think. So, interesting story.
All right, there you go. Talking to Greeny today on Pirate Radio Live. Mark, have a great weekend. Have a great show on Saturday, and we'll talk more golf with you here soon on Pirate Radio Live.
All right, thanks, Cliff. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. There is Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. And, yeah, right now, Harold Varner III having a lot of success on the course. He is 7 under par, but problem is Stewart Cink is lapping the field at 16 under right now on day 2 at the RBC Heritage. And looking at some other scores, again, some familiar names, some names we just drafted last week in our Masters pool. Corey Connors right now second at 11 under par. Colin Morikawa's at 9 under, as is Sanjay Aim, Shirley's guy that really just tanked her score last week.
So what you're saying is that we should have done a draft for this tournament and not the Masters.
We would have had probably more points going right now.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. And HV3 still in the top 10. He's tied for 9th right now through 12 on day 2 there in Hilton Head, South Carolina. All right, we will take a time out, come back. We'll see if anything's going on the Shirley Rhodes or Chanley
Hunter sounds like a baseball player.
Chanley Honeycutt.
Batting fourth.
The Chandler Honeycutt News Desk. Talk about what's going on today in the world of sports here locally and beyond. Morgan Ahlers said to join us in hour 3. And we've got a great giveaway. It is Free Beer Friday. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra Infusions, a superior light beer infused and loaded with exotic taste and free from artificial colors and flavors. We will give away a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack.
Ooh!
Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. All coming your way in hour 3 on Pirate Radio Live. Take a time out, come back, have more for you after this.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Your future is yours to create. And with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL at ECU.edu.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planting your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, episode of the Pirate Radio Podcast is now available in your Apple Podcast channel and the SoundCloud archive. The Pirate Radio Podcast, which is brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Visit whiteclaw.com today. White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly. Of course, the podcast will feature The Voice, Jeff Charles going one-on-one with Carlester Crumpler Jr. coming up tonight. You can listen to the podcast now by visiting to our podcast channel and subscribing to it, or you can just tune in tonight at 6 o'clock and on 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 FM in Washington, and, of course, online at pr927fm.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Any other podcast plans for next week, Shirley?
Actually, we do have one that's going to drop, I think, on Tuesday.
Who's that?
That is going to feature none other than Jenny Shelton and myself. So,
did I hear that correctly?
Yes, you heard that correctly.
Hosted by Jenny Shelton, who is does a great job with sales, doing a fantastic job covering ECU spring football, taking some great pictures and video, and the guest
is yours truly.
Is Shirley Rhodes. Get to know Shirley Rhodes.
Yes, it's not so much get to know me as it is kind of like a history of pirate radio, kind of like my journey here from when we got started back in 2003 and some of my memories of some of the things that we've done here. And so that's kind of, maybe a little bit of... Did you literally just yawn?
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Softball, Shirley. No, I haven't been able to listen to the whole thing, but the first 5 minutes are very interesting, so I can't wait to listen to the rest of it.
Alrighty then.
You already yawned, Chandler. You're already on the bad list. Jenny,
you dug yourself that hole. But
Ladies' night, Jenny and Shirley coming to a...
Yeah, I think it's going to drop on Tuesday, but don't quote me on that. But I have to double check, but I think it's going to be on Tuesday.
Shirley, I just saw someone in the UB parking lot that got me fired up for ECU football.
And that would be?
That would be a... someone we hear from after games on the fifth quarter from time to time.
From time to time after fifth quarter.
Let's say
Bryce?
We hear from them more when things are going bad than when things are going good.
Captain Bill?
Captain Bill.
Oh, really?
Had a Captain Bill sighting. He said, "What's up, man? Tell everybody I said hello."
Okay.
And maybe we'll be hearing his voice saying things like Lincoln Riley needs to get his ass out of Greenville. Fire him now. Captain Bill, one of the more entertaining callers in fifth quarter history.
We hadn't heard from Captain Bill in a while.
Nah, just had a celebrity sighting outside. So
that's pretty cool.
It's too positive right now around the football program.
A lot of positivity going on. But he's called in celebratory times as well. So hopefully we'll hear more from Captain Bill coming up this football season. But yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Just saw him outside. Talked to another troll today.
Oh, did you now?
Redbeard, who was a part of Pirate Radio Trivia. I don't want to spoil anything, but just an awesome game between he and John Moody, couple of A1 Pirate Radio listeners. They went toe-to-toe, and that'll be dropping at some point soon. We had our episode 2 drop today.
That was a doozy.
Steve and Cameron went down to the wire, went down to the final question. So if you want to watch that, play along at home. You can check that out on YouTube and Facebook. And if you want to be a part of Pirate Radio Trivia, just let me know. Send me a message on Twitter or Facebook. We'll get you on. I've had several people who want to be involved in a game, including, and I haven't set this up yet. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it until I do, but you know what? I'll talk about it. Corey Gloor wants to be a part of Pirate Radio Zoom Trivia. And when somebody says they want to be a part of it, I think, okay, who would be a good opponent? Who would make for either a fun matchup, an even matchup? And I suggested this to Corey. He seemed to be on board with it, but he said he'd lose. But how about a battle of the voices between Corey Gloor and Todd Graffinini?
Oh, so that would be
that was a good reaction.
So that would be like the first celebrity edition
of Pirate Radio Trivia. Yeah, Corey and Todd Graffinini is Mr. Excitement. Corey, not necessarily Mr. Excitement, but he's knowledgeable and knows his stuff. How about Corey versus Corey?
Let's do it.
Trying to set up a Graf versus Gloor matchup. Also, I've got some other people that want to be involved. So if you would like to participate, you could win some free White Claw, gift card to AJ's, a Pirate Radio shirt, and be known as a trivia champion. But I had a lot of fun doing that today. Episode 3 and another ep dropped today. So make sure you check that out. A lot of fun playing trivia here at Pirate Radio. All right, Shirley, I know you're a tad under the weather. I don't know how much. We do have a softball result. You mentioned it earlier in the show, but ECU lost earlier today, right?
Yeah, unfortunately they lost. They were trailing 2-1 in the 2-0 in the fifth inning, and then they were able to push across 4 runs on a multitude of errors by Houston, and then so they took a 4-2 lead in the very next inning. Houston jacked a 2-run home run, tied it up, and then they ended up tacking on 2 more. So both teams are riding, well, up until that game, they were riding 6-game losing streaks. So something had to give between the two teams, and unfortunately Houston came out on top. They'll play again tomorrow. They have a doubleheader, and I think the first game starts at 1 o'clock or 1:30. Tomorrow, so they'll play that, and then they'll finish out on Sunday and then come back home, and then the softball team will be back home to host Tulsa next weekend, and yours truly will be out there in the PA.
Doing a little PA action.
Yeah.
Must be nice to go to Houston and compete in sporting events.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Something the baseball team is not doing right now. They were competing against one another last hour when we talked to Corey Gloor. He said he was at the stadium and ECU was taking on ECU in a scrimmage because Houston will not be playing this weekend. A lot more fallout from that, I'm sure we'll talk about next week on Pirate Radio Live.
Clip, do you remember in the bubble for the NBA playoffs, we were enjoying that matchup between Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell?
Wow, you just I know what you're going to say, and I did not think of that angle, but that was our favorite 7-game series because Murray and Mitchell were just throwing daggers at one another. It was so much fun. Jamal Murray is injured and out for the rest of the year.
He tore his ACL. The news coming out earlier this week.
And now Chandler's got more bad news.
Adrian Wojnarowski has just tweeted out that the Utah All-Star Donovan Mitchell has been helped to the locker room with a lower leg injury.
Utah has been awesome this year. We hope that Mitchell can return. But you know what this is doing, Chandler? This is really paving the way for LA versus LA, right?
Yes.
Like Denver was looked at. Jokic right now is the front runner for MVP, but without Murray, how far can Denver legitimately go? If Mitchell's hurt, I take the Jazz out of the equation in the Western Conference. It really sets up for LA, Clippers, Lakers. Once, LeBron's healthy and everything, and they get back 100%. The Clippers, should be there at the end. So I'm hoping Mitchell can come back because I don't know. I like different teams to be in the mix. I don't want a LA versus LA Western Conference final.
Yeah, and obviously we enjoyed those matchups last year.
It was awesome.
Unfortunately, we will not be able to see Mitchell versus Murray this year. I'm just worried about our Hornets, Cliff. Hopefully we can get in the playoff mix, whether that's in the playoffs or the play-in playoff picture. Hornets.
What is that line tonight?
Having their injury woes right now. Hopefully they can get their guys back.
Let's play Guess the Line real quick, Chandler. I'm going to look it up. Hornets at Nets, and the Hornets have nobody. Who's playing for the Nets? Do we got Durant? We got
LaMarcus Aldridge is gone.
Yeah. I'll still say Nets by 11.
I don't know if I'll go that high.
Am I too high?
I'm gonna go Nets 8.5.
All right. The line is 12.
Wow.
Nets minus 12 tonight.
I'm stupid. I don't know why in the world I would set it at 8.5. The Hornets literally have nobody.
Yeah,
nobody.
Of course, Ball and Hayward are out, but also Devontae Graham's out, which
Devontae Graham
awful.
is out for the night.
And then you had other guys, P.J. Washington and Wanamaker were questionable. Yeah, so tough times. Here's one for you. Cornell had a player transfer, and this player is going to join his brother in college basketball, and they will be playing for their dad. What is that player's last name?
Boeheim.
That is correct. Jimmy Boeheim announced his commitment to play with the Orange, and he will join his brother Buddy and his father Jim at Syracuse.
Wow.
So 3 Boeheims at Syracuse next year.
News out of the NFC South this week. I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, but one of the star special teams guys is heading to the Falcons. Cordell Patterson is heading to Atlanta.
One of the best gadget players in our era. Return specialist. He's played running back along with wide receiver.
In Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did see that news. And Adrian Wojnarowski just tweeting out a minute ago, lower ankle sprain, x-rays negative. There's early optimism that it's not a major injury. So that would be some positive news for Mitchell, Utah, and the NBA. All right, let's anything else, Chandler, that you saw today?
No.
Aaron Donald has come out with his side of the story where he
there is evidence that I believe it was some guys surrounding him that beat up the guy, and apparently the guy that was beat up kind of started everything. So there is evidence out there. I think Aaron Donald is in I think he's in the clear.
Aaron Donald's attorney says there's video evidence refuting the claim, and that Aaron Donald was actually trying to play peacemaker in a fight with the, quote, victim here and another party. So, there's 3 sides to every story, both of their sides and the truth.
Who in their right mind would want to pick a fight with Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
True or not.
And it would just be stupid for Donald to get involved in this kind of stuff anyway. So, I don't know the truth. I'm going to tend to believe that Aaron Donald just didn't pick a fight with a guy. And I guess there's evidence that somebody swung a bottle at Donald. So I don't know. The victim is not very smart here if he had any will towards fighting Aaron Donald, any intention to pick a fight with the most feared man in the NFL. All right, let's take a time out. We will talk to one of the most feared guests at Pirate Radio and the most punctual of all our guests here at Pirate Radio. If you're not early or late, Morgan Ahlers always early and ready to go. He will join us in Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live, and we open up the booty bag today. It's Free Beer Friday. We got an awesome giveaway for you coming up in Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We will talk to Morgan Ahlers when we return after this.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool & Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual Water Care Sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool & Supply.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Eric LeGrand. I'm a former Rutgers football player who was paralyzed 10 years ago at MetLife Stadium up here in New Jersey. And, all odds against me, doctors told me I wouldn't do this, wouldn't be able to do that. Being able to overcome so much adversity in my life it's just always having just a newfound appreciation on life. And here we are 10 years after my injury, and there's just been so many blessings that have come my way, and I've overcome so many obstacles, and I just continue to push forward each and every day of my life.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local US Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow had a good day. It was up 164 points at 34,200. The NASDAQ was ahead at 13 at 14,052, and the S&P was up 15 points at $4,185. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday, a free beer Friday. We dropped a new episode of Pirate Radio Trivia earlier today. Steve Hill, who was a contestant on episode 1, lost to Eric Ward, said, great trivia today. Can't wait for the next one, man. I will tell you, I recorded episode 3 today. It was a doozy with Redbeard and John Moody. That'll be dropping soon, so keep an eye out for that. Also earlier today, Billy Weaver dropped by the Pirate Radio studios. He was talking to Troy and Ellerby, and Shirley Rhodes was finally able to give her amazing gift to Billy Weaver. It was a Game 6 World Series ticket from 1986, where the Mets beat the Red Sox. And, of course, that was the famous
Bill Buckner game.
Famous, however you want to put it, the Bill Buckner game.
Well, if you're a Red Sox fan, it's infamous.
But I saw Weaver had tweeted that out, Shirley, his thank you to you. That was an awesome piece of memorabilia.
Yeah, and then there's 3 ticket stubs attached to the side of it. It's all laminated. You can see it out there on Twitter. And he said it was regular season. That's actually from the ALS Championship Series that year when the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays to make it to the World Series.
There you go. That's really cool. And Shirley gave that to Billy, and that brings up my first question to our next guest, Morgan Ahlers. First of all, hello, Morgan.
Hello, Clip.
My first question is, you have played sports, you have watched and called games for a lot of sporting events. Are you a memorabilia guy? Do you have autographs? Do you have
a little bit,
tokens?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have in the man cave that you like, or that you've had over the years?
I've got a lot of East Carolina stuff over the years. I think one of the coolest things I've got is one of the Peach Bowl footballs, autographed by a lot of the players from the Peach Bowl there, which I kind of like. I grew up a big Cincinnati Reds fan, so I've got a lot of Reds memorabilia from the Big Red Machine days.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Rose, Johnny Bench. So I got a picture with...
You've got your gambling stubs from all the games you bet on the Reds that Pete Rose won back in the day?
True story. My uncle used to live next door to Pete Rose. My uncle,
where at?
In Cincinnati. I've got a lot of relatives in Cincinnati. And one of the things that he and I talked about was did Pete really bet on baseball? He went, hell yeah.
Do you believe he only bet on his team to win?
Yes.
You believe that?
Yes, I believe that.
Okay.
He was such a competitor. Number one, he bet on baseball. And number two, he should definitely already be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, when he played the game, he was as good as anybody in the game.
Well, yeah, he's the hit king.
And he played the game to win. What he did to Ray Fosse in the All-Star game, that was a game that really meant nothing to a lot of players, but to him, it meant, like he said, it's a baseball game. I was always taught you go to play to win.
Do you think if he was more honest, he would be in now, or if they would have kept him out anyway? As far as he always denied he bet on baseball,
Well, I think there was a behind-the-scenes deal with Bart Giamatti at the time that, if he stayed away for so long, they'd bring him back in, and that didn't happen.
Who gave him the lifetime ban? Was that?
I think it was Bart. I think it was Bart Giamatti, who is the father to Paul Giamatti, the actor. I don't know if you knew that or not from the movie Sideways.
I know the actor. I didn't know.
Yeah, that is his dad.
Interesting.
Yeah. Little trivia for...
I love trivia.
Yeah, you go. I do too.
And I'm trying to bring this full circle and see if I can find the article where the NFL now has deals with, I think, 3 gambling entities. So, it's like that shows you how far it's come, Morgan.
Yeah, and again, going to baseball, there's supposedly a rule up on every locker or every locker room saying do not bet on baseball. And yes, I mean there's people that would bet on the game that probably would get so far upside down in it, and then they could, you're batting, I'm pitching, and I owe somebody $2 million, and guess what? They'll say if you throw him a fastball down the middle in the second pitch, because you're in on it too, he's going to hit it out and win the game.
With the top-rated athlete.
Sorry.
That's it, a top-rated athlete. That was me saying that, by the way.
Morgan's very good at impressions.
Yeah, thank you. But that's why they say they don't want people betting on their games. On their games and betting on baseball, because it's too easy. Who is the football player Ohio State, played in the NFL for just a small time, but he was arrested for gambling, and there's been several big time stories. I'm trying to think of his name right now, but he was arrested for point shaving, and because he got so in debt to gamblers, into the mafia, and they were basically telling him what to do and when to do it.
There's definitely a dark side to it, and you see why you want, if you're a league, to be keep yourself away from it. However, there is a exclusive relationship, that's TRI, exclusive relationship now between Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, and the NFL, where there will be advertising, and they will be making a lot of money off these gambling sites that the players are not allowed and the coaches are not allowed to get involved in. But there are now, Morgan, relationships, and same with baseball too, relationships with these gambling sites that 5 years ago we would have thought this would never happen. Now these sports are in bed with these gambling sites.
Art Schleister.
Yeah.
Art Schleister was the player I was talking about.
Interesting. When was that?
This was it happened. I mean, let me try to sit here.
60s, 70s?
No, he was drafted 4th overall in 82 by the Colts. Appeared in only 13 games, 6 starts due to his gambling problems. Played in the AFL.
Wow.
But he apparently continued to face legal problems after the end of his football career, currently serving a 10-year sentence on theft charges related to gambling.
Interesting.
He had major gambling addiction problems.
Sounds like it. All right. Morgan, my second question to you today, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you seen a ghost?
No.
All right.
But I know somebody that says they have.
And you believe that person?
My mother.
Your mother has seen a ghost.
Well, I don't know if it was a ghost, but I will say this, and she swears to the story, that when her mother passed away, she lived in an older house. My mom's from Canada. And it was a beautiful old house. They'd had it for many years, and my aunt and her were cleaning out one of the rooms, I think her room, and they had she had one of these oil furnaces, old oil furnaces, and occasionally it would smoke up. Well, the room started getting smoky, and my aunt ran down thinking the furnace was on. It was I think it was August or something, so there's no reason for it to be on. It wasn't on. She came back up, and my aunt looked at my mother and she says, "Mom, please don't do this to us. We can't do this now." And the smoke went away.
See, those are the stories that make your spine tingle a little bit.
And both of them said the same thing. I heard the story from both of them.
Is that the only reason you believe in ghosts, or do you?
That and my youngest child saw Bigfoot, so.
All right. Well, Chandler was asking earlier, do you believe in Bigfoot? Now, who's your youngest child? That would be Holton Ahlers? That would be
Holton, yeah.
Where did he see Bigfoot?
Near his house.
Oh, I've seen this video.
It's actually pretty cool.
Like here locally.
Yeah, he swears it, and he, if you watch it, he did a question and answer with ECU football earlier, and one of his roommates sent in the question, "Do you believe in Bigfoot?" And you got to watch it. Whole bless his heart says, "Yes, I'm probably one of the only people in the world that have seen 2 big feet."
And he said, "And here's the video to prove it."
And there's video to prove it.
Have you guys
heard?
And
it's even grainier than the one from like 1962.
Where he's like walking slowly.
There's a Bigfoot coming across the field, and there's a little Bigfoot coming behind him.
Okay, this sounds familiar. I think I've actually seen this now from Holton.
Have you guys ever heard of going to? It's usually like old ladies that talk the burn out of you. Like if you have sunburn.
Okay,
Shirley, have you ever heard about that? If you have sunburn, or like if you,
I've never heard that phrase.
You're into some witchcraft territory now.
I know.
I mean, I know some remedies, but I mean,
I've heard people say, "Oh, well, like I've had sunburn," and they're like, "Oh, well, go see Mary Ellen. She'll talk the burn out of you."
She'll also read your palm and give you your horoscope.
I have to say,
the bird.
I don't know that.
There's got to be some people out there that have heard that.
We're getting into some. All right. So if anybody has a sunburn, Chandler has the hookup to get rid of that.
I mean, you've got your old school remedies, but
do they advertise on Pirate Radio?
Yeah, sure.
Well, to get another sale out of it.
Have you got sunburn?
Morgan,
call Mary Ellen. She'll get the burn at you. Yeah, that's 1-877-275-5555. Pick it up right now. Get the burn.
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We got our Free Beer Friday giveaway. We'll do that at the end of next segment. We'll talk some Pirate football when we return. What is the plan for Saturday's scrimmage? How much will Holton Ahlers play? Mike Houston addressed some of that earlier this week. We will hear from Mike Houston, talk some football with Morgan Ahlers when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Yo, ho, you're listening to Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. If you've got damage from wood rot, consider it fixed. Damage from smoke or fire, how about fixed? Damage caused by water, fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday, a free beer Friday. We'll be giving away some beer coming up at the end of this hour. A case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. Try to win it at the end of this segment. If you don't win it,
I'll drink it.
Morgan will drink it. And we have another giveaway on Instagram, a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, pizza, and shirt on Instagram. So we've got a call-in winner coming up later this segment, and a winner can be had on Instagram as well. Free Beer Friday. Have fun with it. All right, Morgan Ahlers, let's talk some Pirate football. Got a scrimmage coming up on Saturday. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's, they've been looking forward to that for 2 or 3 weeks now, and it should be a good time, good day for it. And I guess it's scrimmage number 1, and then they'll have their final one next Saturday.
What is the plan for Saturday's scrimmage? How much will the starters play? How about the backups? Mike Houston gave a bit of an outline on that earlier this week. This is Cut 2, Shirley. Here's what Coach had to say.
You know, we'd like to go about 100 plays. You know, got to just make sure our numbers, depth-wise, will allow us to do that. But you know, you cannot substitute for game experience. And of course, I mean, you look at the quarterback position. I mean, Holton Ahlers has a ton of game experience, and he plays like it. But those other quarterbacks, we have to get them a lot of work on Saturday. And you know, anytime we can put them in that situation, it's like the end of practice today was a live red zone period. And you just, you know, when you go from the thud or the tag to a live period, it just changes everything. Everything speeds up, gets a lot hotter, and that's when that experience in those situations is so valuable. So, you know, I think we have to put ourselves in situations this Saturday because we're only going to get 2 opportunities now with the way the spring is gone.
Weird to say, Morgan, the first spring scrimmage since 2019. It's been a long time, and first one this year for this current team. Talked to Bryce Williams the other day. He said he remembers going, if they're running 100 plays, he says he remembers going about 30. So that would tell you how much a starter time gets, about 30%. What about on Saturday, Morgan? What do you expect at the quarterback position with Holton Ahlers, with, you know, all the backups for ECU?
Well, I think that you're going to see Holton get maybe, I'm thinking, like you said, 25, 30 reps maybe. I think he told me we had lunch today, they were going to be on a play count a little bit because you don't want to get any of your starters like that hurt. Because, yes, even in the scrimmages, they blow the whistle around the quarterback. They're not going to let any contact happen. But
and really, you want them guys to be sharp, but we're sitting here in April. It's more about getting these backups in time, right?
Yeah, you got to get the Mason Garcias, the Alex Flynn's, and those guys ready, Ryan Stubblefield, and I think Walter Simmons. They'll get a lot of reps in there. And this is going to be a little bit different for them because this is the first time that some of them may have seen some live fire. Yes, Mason saw some last year against Navy, but other than that, not a whole lot during the season. So this is really going to be going at it, and they're going to be seeing a lot of defenses. And, you know, I can promise you the defensive staff wants to win the day. The offensive staff wants to win the day, and the offensive players do. And so
to get competitive.
Yeah, I think it's going to get very competitive.
And Mike Houston wants it that way,
yes,
for sure.
And I think from everything I've been told by a couple of the coaches and some of the different players that I've seen, they said it's been a very physical spring so far, and that everybody loves it like that. It's just a different mentality than it was 2 years ago in the spring.
Mike Houston was asked on the Brian Bailey Show what position battles is he looking at the remainder of the spring, and he said there's a few, but the first one he went to, Morgan, was the backup quarterback spot, which is pretty competitive. And Mason Garcia was a pretty highly touted recruit, but there are some other guys there that also want to be the backup quarterback for this football team.
Yeah, I can promise you, those guys that are in that room, they want to be the guy, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. They want to be the guy.
They want to be the starter, and if not, they want to be the backup.
And plays like that. I mean, he knows that those guys are.
That's good for him, right?
And that's he does what he does, and that's what these guys have to do. And they've got to go out there and show that they're ready to play and ready to take advantage of situations as they present themselves in the fall.
Morgan, I don't know if we could make a full roster and depth chart, but it wouldn't be hard to be a head coach and pick who's going to be the kick and punt returner for this team. That would be pretty easy to put Tyler Snead out there, would you say?
I would think so, but at the same time, you've got to be very careful. Because you don't want.
He's so important to your offense.
He's such one of the go-to guys, if not the go-to guy right now. He just gives it us all. Much has been made of that. Every play he's out there giving it 100%, and he wants to be out there on the kickoff and the punt returns. But you've got some other guys that are just as fast, maybe Josiah Hatfield among others, and I think you'll see some looks tomorrow. Now, whether how live they go the next couple of weeks in the scrimmage, I don't know on the kickoff and kickoff returns, but he's something special.
Coach Houston was asked about the kick and punt return spot at ECU. Cut 3, Shirley. Here was his response.
Well, we got this little guy that wears 22 that's pretty good. I think we have one of the best return guys in the league and one of the best return guys in the country, and I think he's special, and we're fortunate to have him. That kid, he embodies everything that our program, what I want it to stand for. And so I'm excited to have him back there. He's dynamic. Of course, you have some other guys that are pretty good back there also. Keaton Mitchell, Josiah Hatfield, Malik Fleming, all those guys will get looks. Jawan Powell. So we're working on a lot of different guys back there. Chris Foster is working with those guys, and really excited to have Chris and his experience there in that return game.
Nice to have options. Also nice to have a guy like Snead, you can count on back there, Morgan.
Yeah, I think with the speed that East Carolina has in the return game, it wouldn't surprise me this year to maybe see some wrinkles put in some returns, maybe a reverse or two with if it's Hatfield going one way, Snead going the other, and then you've got to keep from a kickoff team. You've got to really run your lanes. A lot of time they'll say start to funnel the ball, the kickoff team down to the returner and force him one way. But then if you've got guys, and you show it earlier, a reverse or two or just some wrinkles, now everybody's got to run their lanes, and that really opens things up for the returner to make some moves and get some extra yardage.
And Morgan, you've seen a lot of head coaches here, and a lot of football, but the head coaches have different philosophies on who they want on special teams, and some guys want to keep their starters out of it if they can. Remember, Skip Holtz had what he called the dirty dozen, like guys that weren't starters that would be on those kickoff teams.
Bill Lewis, when he was here, I remember Bill Lewis saying that he wanted to win special offense, defense, and special teams, and that special teams he felt was one of the most underrated. And he goes back to looking at some of the teams at Virginia Tech, and they played a lot of starters. And whether it's offense, defense, and
Mike Houston wants to do that.
Feels a lot the same way.
Talked about it on the Brian Bailey Show. Wants his guys to be involved in special teams. Says there's very few guys that will be on the do not touch list as far as the special teams coach goes. So wants to get those guys involved. Morgan, and look, you're not just because you're here, but Holton Ahlers is a guy that stays after practice, that when they weren't having practice would get his receivers out there to throw the ball to. Mike Houston says there's a lot more of those guys now on this team that get to work in when the coaches aren't around. When practice isn't going on. He spoke about that, Shirley. Cut 5. He's seeing more and more of that happen within this program.
Well, I think there's lots of guys. There's guys out there right now, and that's one thing that's also changed is just the work ethic and the dedication. And I think these kids we just talked about at the very end right there. They came here with a dream. They made a commitment to each other. They're heavily invested in this development of our program, and those kids are the foundation of our program. And so, there's so much. This morning I was looking for one of the kids. It's like 9:30 a.m. And I was like, hey, you around today? He's like, yeah, I'm downstairs watching film. And that's stuff like that's happening all the time. And it's not, it's now we're to the point where their academics are important, their family's important, and football's important. And again, I keep talking about the things that were wrong or whatever, but that has not always been that way where football was important here. But this group, football is important to them. They love playing. They're committed to it, and that's why you look out there and they'll be out there. When you guys leave, there's still going to be guys out there on that jugs machine.
Morgan, from your source within the football program, how much is this happening? How much is this happening more now than maybe in previous years? Guys staying, getting extra work in.
I think, and I'm not going to say there wasn't people doing that before. I think there's always guys that are going to stay and get that little extra because they're wired like that. I will say that this group has, I think last year's COVID year made them realize if they're going to get the work in, they've got to find a way to do it. And if there was a lot of negatives about what was going on, that was one of the positives that I think, the ability to work out for yourselves. Yeah, the coaches stayed on them with Zoom and that kind of thing, but there was a period there that they couldn't come on campus. And so they had to, whether it was, here in Greenville, there was a bunch of them that would get together, linemen, whatever the case may be, and then quarterbacks, wide receivers. I know Coach Connor worked out with a group of them out from D.H. Conley.
From D.H. Conley, yeah.
And, these guys, they did it in the week off. That much I know for a fact. They're out there working out, and these guys don't want to lose that edge. They've worked too hard for it.
Morgan Ahlers joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. We're ready to talk some Pirate football. We'll talk more Pirate football. We'll talk about Joe Dooley remaining the ECU basketball coach, Hubert Davis becoming the North Carolina basketball coach. We'll talk a little hoops with Morgan as well. But right now, Shirley Rhodes, let's make somebody a winner on Free Beer Friday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
How about a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack, cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. It can all be yours if the call is right. What caller?
12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. Get in right now, and you can be a winner on Free Beer Friday right here on Pirate Radio Live. A lot more to go with Morgan Ahlers when we return after this.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys can help people with any aches or pains.
Yep, we sure can. As it's getting warmer, we know more people are outside, wanting to be more active, and we know spring sports are in play as well. And so if you've got a knee or ankle injury, whether it's just a strain or a sprain, we've got specialists there to treat the weekend warrior and the athlete. For more information, visit us online at kptonline.com or call us at 364-2806.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. He was Dr. J before Dr. J. A story about this incredible basketball legend next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
The brand new chancellor of East Carolina University, Dr. Philip Rogers.
Greenville has been home, and it was just one of those places growing up that it was so impactful in my life that the thought of coming back to East Carolina University and raising my two boys here was a no-brainer.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
The great Elgin Baylor passed away last month at the age of 86. The NBA Hall of Famer was one of the best all-around players to ever lace them up. The 6'5" forward played 14 years with the Minneapolis, Los Angeles Lakers, appearing in 8 NBA Finals. He played his high school basketball in Washington, D.C., went to junior college at the College of Southern Idaho, and then on to Seattle University. He was also the head coach of the New Orleans Jazz from 1976 to 79, and was a longtime Lakers executive. But it's what he did on the court that is legendary. Listen to these career numbers. He averaged 27.4 points per game, and 13.5 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists per contest. He was an 11-time NBA All-Star, 10-time All-NBA First Team. His number 22 is retired in L.A. Yes, he truly was Dr. J before Dr. J. The great Elgin Baylor, rest in peace. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Congratulations to Susan Deans of Greenville. Picked up our big Free Beer Friday giveaway. Of course, with the Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, you can get a bucket and a case of our 12-pack of the Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, and of course some Domino's Pizza and a Pirate Vibes Only T-shirt. So all of that goes to Susan Deans for this Friday. Clip.
A loyal listener, definitely a Friday listener, big Panthers fan, so enjoys our segments with Tony Dunn in hour 1 of a Free Beer Friday, and stuck around to win the big prize today. Free Beer Friday brought to you by Michelob Ultra Infusions, a superior light beer infused and loaded with exotic taste and free from artificial colors and flavors. It's beer meets exotic fruit at 95 calories per bottle. Choose from lime and prickly pear cactus, pure gold, and pomegranate and agave. Michelob Ultra Infusions, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. I love pomegranate. I've said it before on the show.
No, pomegranate!
That is a internet reference from Chandler there. That is quite hilarious. Thank you, Morgan.
You're welcome.
Are you a pomegranate fan?
Sure. I'm more of a lime, prickly pear, cactus kind of guy.
Can't say I've ever had anything cactus. My grandma has a cool cactus growing outside.
I've actually had deep fried cactus one time.
How is it? It's just fried, so it's pretty good.
It's fried.
Did you put some like sauce on it? And
I think there was something.
Did you put ranch on it? Put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it.
Tell them put some ranch on it.
No, we were in Vegas and alcohol was involved. And
when you're in Vegas, you got to eat the cactus.
Got to try the cactus.
That's the first thing they
all
say.
right, do you like guacamole?
I like guacamole.
Okay.
I'm not I must have guacamole every.
I like good guacamole. Never used to like it. We're in Vegas.
Yeah.
Of course, we've been there for quite a while. And
what'd you do? Just eat the whole time?
Well, we were there to eat, drink, played cards, lost, ate, drank some more. Went to a Mexican place, and waitress comes up and she said, one of the guys I was with and hanging out with, and was saying, "Yeah, you got to try the guacamole. It's from California." I'm like, "No, I'm not eating that green crap. I'm not eating it."
Mm-hmm.
Waitress says, "I'll buy you free drinks if you do."
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if the drinks were free anyway. I was
Gotcha.
So, needless to say, I started liking guacamole at that point. It was really good.
All right.
Try some of the best guacamoles. The I think it's Plaza Azteca.
Mm-hmm.
The tableside guacamole, bang, and also Chico's got some great guac too.
All right, there you go. Morgan Ahlers went from hating it to being a guac expert.
And I can make some mean guacamole.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You make your own now?
Yeah.
Good deal. We also found out Morgan can cut hair.
I can cut hair. I'm going to cut Clip's hair live on the air one day.
We're going to do that. Boy, Troy would really freak out about that. We're going to have to get some plastic down or something.
I don't know.
Morgan cuts his own hair and looks pretty good. So I'm going to give you a shot, Morgan.
You're not opening up a barbershop, are you?
Brian, I don't know if you heard our Brian North discussions.
Yeah, the dippity clippity thing or something.
Dippity clippity.
Yeah, I feel like a jackass for believing that.
Jackass.
Let's quickly move on.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
I know. And usually I'm really good about that, but not this time. Let's see. Let's hear about the youth on the roster. Coach Houston talked about how that could be a negative thing when you're forced to play these guys, but it turns into a positive when they gain experience. This is number 6, Shirley.
Well, I mean, I think last year we were either the youngest or the second youngest team in FBS football. And so that's not always good, but the good part of it is we're going to have them for a while. And, it's like all those freshman D linemen, those 2 freshman running backs, they're still young, but they're experienced now because we played them last year. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's exciting to think that you have those guys for several years to come because they're not going to get worse. They're only going to improve. And as they improve, the program will improve.
All right, so from youthful exuberance to a youthful experience for this ECU football team, Morgan, and you know it as the PA guy, a lot of new names to read last year, and it might have a few this year, but it's going to be a much more experienced Pirate team on the field this year.
Well, the saying is you can't get experience unless you get experience. And you get out there and play. That's how you get better. It's not by sitting on the sidelines watching and learning. You've got to get out there and do it. And they had their time last year to do that, and it didn't count against their eligibility. So I think that's huge when it comes to the future of the Pirates. And a lot of these, I was talking with a friend of mine in Alabama, talking about some of these schools. Well, he made the comment, well, Alabama and Auburn, got the same advantage East Carolina has. But the majority of those guys from Auburn, Alabama, if they're not going to play within the first couple of years, they're going to leave. And a lot of the guys probably leave for the NFL. Other guys leave for other options. Whereas hopefully with East Carolina, you're going to find guys that want to be here. They're going to stay. They're going to mature. They're going to get better. And I think this year, one of the big areas that was a struggle early on for the Pirates last year was offensive line when they had Cortez Kennedy. I think it's Cortez Kennedy. Was that right?
Cortez Herron.
Yeah,
Cortez
Herron.
Kennedy, former NFL player.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't right. But Cortez, he wasn't eligible last year. Got kicked off the team. And then you had Dante getting hurt. And then you had Noah.
All your center issues, too.
Noah Henderson hurt his back. Then you had
Spellacy Winstead, of course, couldn't play.
Couldn't play. So basically, your whole offensive line early in the year last year was new. I mean, you had some guys that transferred in, but they really hadn't played much. So by the end of the year, they're starting to gel as a unit. And now you've got probably 10, 11 guys deep that'll be rotating in and out there this year. So it's going to be much deeper on the line.
Chandler, could you do me a favor? Look at that stack of papers. See if you see a sheet with Tyler Snead and DJ Ford's name on it. Do we still have those cut, Shirley? We haven't ran those this week. And if we got them, I will play some of those. Has Holden said anything to you about DJ Ford? He seems like a pretty mature kid coming in from North Carolina, ready to go.
Really likes him. Says he's a great guy. Got his head on straight, and really thinks he could be a difference maker in the secondary next year.
Yeah, and seems like he's going to be a guy, Morgan, that might come in and play right away for this ECU football team. So I'm excited to see him in action. Another guy that could come in and be a factor right away for the Pirates. Mike Houston was asked about the AAC rule that now will allow players to transfer and play within the conference and play right away. And this is Cut 8, Shirley. Here were his thoughts.
Not really. I mean, Aaron Jarman, we had already had a waiver that had been approved, and he's been admitted to school and all that stuff. So, but certainly a situation like that, it would allow him to, to be eligible immediately without having to do a waiver. But, it's, in today's world, I think you're going to see more and more of that stuff. And so, it just goes back now to just, making sure that you do a great job with your kids when you have them. And, hopefully they feel like this is home.
All right, Aaron Jarman was going to be able to play anyway. it sounds like, due to a waiver. But there's another, I don't know, maybe excitement question mark for ECU. Exciting question mark when it comes to the tight end. One of those guys is going to come through. He's taught a lot of Mike Houston asked about Shane Calhoun this offseason. Might be kind of ahead of the pack right now.
Yeah, that went from a room a couple years ago to having one tight end when they moved Jeremy Lewis in there to now you've got 4, 5, or 6. Heck, Jeremy, we don't need you anymore. Let's put you on defense and give you a chance to go out there and play. And, you've got Shane Calhoun, you've got Ryan Jones, you've got Zach Bird, you've got Aaron Jarman coming in, and you got probably a couple other guys that are sitting in there as well. It's going to be a stacked room. It's going to be interesting to see, sometimes East Carolina has struggled to try to force the run on, say, a 3rd and 1 and short yardage situations, 4th down and 1. And in the past, we might not have gotten it. But now you've got, when you can come in, you can put 2 280-pound tight ends in there in the game and put a big fullback type guy in there. Says, okay, here we're going to run it down your throat. And we're going to get that yard, because then you have a lot of different options. In addition to possibly throwing the football, have the tight end wiggle out and get outside. And, it's going to be interesting to see that this year.
And we saw several games last year, Morgan, where the Pirates turned into a power football team and ran the football, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So hopefully we can see a lot more of that coming up in 2021. All right, there's some Mike Houston comments. You'll see more of those and hear more of those coming up on Saturday, as we'll be out at the scrimmage and have some video, audio, and some interviews after that scrimmage. Be tuned in to our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we'll put those up on YouTube as well. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. Been a weird week for ECU Hoops, Morgan, and the rumors were out there about Joe Dooley potentially going back to Kansas to be an assistant coach with Bill Self. Dooley was on the phones midweek talking to recruits, saying, hey, this is not true. I'm the coach at ECU. I'm going to be here. You got a relationship with Dooley. What did you think when you heard it? Did you talk to anyone? How did it all go for you?
When I first heard it, I was because I had joked a couple of times that Joe had put himself in the transfer portal.
You joked it into
reality. Apparently somebody but then you look at the source, it was like barnyardsports.com or something, and I'm like, okay, what would it be, a wishful thinking on somebody from Kansas's part? I mean, obviously it's a Barnyard Sports, somebody in, Nebraska, Kansas, with that. But thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
The barnyard.
In the farmyard. But I did talk to Joe early. I think it was Tuesday, maybe Wednesday we talked. And he called me back, and we talked for about 15 minutes. He says he's been on the phone, just like you said, talking to recruits, telling them that's not true. We're here and excited about getting the recruits in. And, maybe 1 or 2 more surprises pop up in the signing class for East Carolina. That's all I got to say about that.
That are coming that we don't know about yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very hopeful.
Okay. Good.
Impact type players.
We need some impact guys because Jaden Gardner is a Cavalier.
Yeah.
And
good for him. Congratulations. That's what they wanted. We talked. One of the things that was interesting, we were talking with Coach Dooley, and was about the transfer rule, and now you can go from not have they passed it this week where you can transfer one time and not have to sit out a year and not cost you a year of eligibility. And he said, the NCAA is just making it so easy to, I guess, pick up your ball and go home. You don't want anybody else to play with it. And I think that's going to be a detriment to college sports in general for the next 3 or 4 years. I really don't think that's going to be a good thing. And I'm hoping they come to their senses and make a change in that, because if a school makes a commitment to a player and a player makes a commitment to a school, and you go there and you get into an argument with a coach, well, a lot of these guys, it's what have you done for me now? Not lately, but now.
I agree with that but I have a but. I do have a but, Morgan. Don't look at it. As a college basketball fan, it stinks because it's going to make the game worse. We're going to have less guys stick around and form a team and be with a team for years.
You're not going to have many Gonzagas of the world.
No, but in that commitment you were talking about, a coach is also making a commitment to a player. I have always thought it's unfair that a coach can leave anytime and a player can't.
And, you can use the excuse that as a college athlete gets recruited, you're going for the school, not for the coach. We all know, I'm going to say that's probably false 70% of the time.
Now you're in a unique spot. Holden Ahlers chose ECU. He did not choose a coach.
He chose East Carolina. And I think the lot of the players that were recruited that year probably did the same thing.
But I don't blame a kid that gets recruited by all these schools and gets that relationship with a coach. How many guys did Ruff came to ECU because they connected to Ruff and McNeil?
Again, totally agree with what you're saying. And I would say I would be in favor of if a coach leaves,
then
they have an option to maybe possibly leave. I think that has an option because now it leaves on his own accord. If the coach gets fired, might be a different thing.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of tangled web
I know.
with the NCAA. And I think a lot of that has to do with some of the bigger schools trying to make things, the rules for their game they want to play.
Because they're going to use the AAC and other leagues as minor leagues pretty much.
Sure.
And poach the players.
But here's the thing with that is that it is illegal for the coach at East Carolina I'm going to say, and this is not happening, I'm going to say the coach at Power 5 School A to call non-Power 5 school player B from a non-Power 5 school and say, hey, we want you to come here because it's illegal to do that. But it's not illegal for the same coach to instead of calling the player directly, he calls the AAU guy, his AAU coach. Hey, is player A at this school happy? Man, we really love to have him. We heard he might not be happy.
You could go a step further and say you could call the player's dad.
Well, that's still you. Really,
that's illegal.
I think that's illegal.
Okay.
Immediate family. I don't think you can do that. But
and I'm sure nobody's ever done that.
No, nothing. Nobody's ever done that.
But no, I hear what you're saying.
And in that case, and that's why these AAU programs, there's so much money from shoe companies. You don't dare think that the money that's going into those AAU basketball programs in the summer is just to help these guys play summer basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, those are shoe contracts in the future. They know that those tennis shoes that they're going to wear 5-6 years from now, those are going to pay dividends. I played for the Nike, elite team for 3 years, and then he goes to college for one, signs an NBA multi-million-dollar contract. Whose shoe do you think he's going to wear?
Is this school a Nike school or an Adidas school? It all connects.
It all connects the dots.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Were you Hubert Davis, the new coach at North Carolina? Wes Miller, by the way, at Cincinnati. You'll be seeing him courtside for some games in Benji's Morgan. And I've heard and Brian North even brought it up. There were some Tar Heel fans that wanted Wes Miller as the head coach. Instead, they stay right there on the bench and slide Hubert Davis over a few seats. Having said that, are you surprised Jeff Lebo is back in the coaching game?
No, not at all. I think this sort of he had the itch the whole time. I think at East Carolina. I think what happened with Jeff, he had the hip problems, and the year he had his hip replacement, I did the last coaches show from Logan's one night, and he actually was there that night, and we were talking, and he said, I didn't realize how much time I was missing from my kids' lives. Now the fact that he stayed home for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it was, then he started getting out more because he's on the road and coaching all the time. And
this was about the time his son Creighton was.
I think he was a junior in high school.
Was in high school.
In high school, the junior, sophomore, junior, and he made that comment to me, and I was like, okay, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. It's a full commitment, and at that point, I was like, I even remember telling somebody the next day, it was like, I don't know if he's really, if he's the guy right now.
Like all in, committed. Which is interesting, Morgan, because today Wes Miller at his introductory press conference said, I'm single, I have no kids, I'm going to be married to this job. Maybe that's the kind of guy you need, right?
And nothing against what Coach Lebo did, and it didn't work out here, but then, he steps down, goes and coaches in the G League, Q League, whatever.
The Hornets,
Hornets, with Joe Wolf, former Carolina guy. And then he, does that for a year. Goes down to his house in Morehead City, Atlantic Beach, helps out with Wes Carteret, and then Hubert Davis gets in. And I think it's a good move for Hubert because it gives him a sounding board for somebody that's been a head coach for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important because this is going to be his really first venture into being a head coach, although he's been around Roy Williams, and Roy Williams is still going to be around if he needs to pick up the phone and say, hey, I need. What would you do? What do you think?
He'll probably be very active.
Roy Williams picked him 9 years ago to be his successor. That's my opinion. when he brought him in, he left a cushy job at ESPN to come here and coach, or come to Carolina and coach. And I think the whole time Roy Williams was looking at Hubert Davis as his head coach in waiting. And when he stepped down 2 weeks ago, I think it was, they said they were going to talk to a few people, but by Monday or Tuesday, I think he stepped down April 1st, because I think it was April Fool's Day. By the early the following week, it was done deal. And I think they wanted to make the inroads to a couple people. There was no mutual interest, and Hubert Davis is the guy.
All right, Morgan Ahlers joining us. It is about time to wrap it up. We got to take a timeout. Come back. We will wrap up today's edition of Pirate Radio Live and send you off into your weekend. We're back after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Buick and save over $5,000 off, or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool & Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual Water Care Sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool & Supply.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
John Gilbert, ECU Athletic Director.
For the immediate future, there are really 3 things I'm kind of focusing on. 1 is stabilizing our budget. 2, competitive excellence. We need to win. And then the third piece would be our student-athlete life.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit delcorinc.com today.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Unfortunately, many organizations today simply react to IT issues after the damage is done. This is known as the break-fix cycle in the tech service industry. University PC Care's Business Services Division has a better way, a proactive solution called BizCare. What's at your office? Call William at University PC Care today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Join the staff at CPW's in Greenville for a classic road trip down Highway 61 as they feature excerpts from their classic Blues Highway food and drink menu. Come celebrate Blues Brothers Night every Thursday with bar specials. Open for lunch with new lunch specials and everyday features, including pizza, salad, and quesadillas. Also offering drop-off catering for work and school events. CPW's, Stanton Square, across from the hospital in Greenville.
Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts is your hometown shop for gifts and fresh flowers. You can find unique items like Brewmate and apparel by Southern Couture, Simply Southern, and Bella Cotton. The Farmville Flower Basket also has items coming in daily for the spring and summer. Whether it's a gift or a flower arrangement for that special someone, you can find it at Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts. Give them a call today at 753-4217 or stop by their shop on Main Street in Farmville.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Morgan, fun hour with you. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Well, thanks for having me. It was great as always. We really do appreciate it.
Morgan is scheduled to be at Clark LeClaire next Friday. The Pirates will actually be playing baseball.
Double header.
Those are fun.
I love him.
No ECU baseball this weekend. More on that next week. Just a debacle in Houston. Pirates will be back home next weekend. Shirley, hope you feel better. Chan, man, great to see you. And we will see you Monday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation